Hello.
Hey, hello.
So it's lovely to see you all. How are we this week?
Yeah, good, thanks. Yeah, very well.
Anyone being up to anything interesting?
Just dealing with the second lockdown in Britain, in our various places in and around the country that we're all at. Ryan, but more importantly than that, it was Ryan's birthday.
Was my birthday
on the 14th of November.
Happy
Yes.
birthday,
40,
Ryan.
44. You're 44, aren't you, Ryan? You look good.
Looks really good.
The beard gives it away, but yeah.
No, I turned 29, so a baby to many of you. And
Seething jealousy.
I thought like 29. I thought it was a bit of a trash because normally you can associate like a birth year with something. Like 26 is the number of miles in a marathon, 27 is the number of dresses, 28 is the number of days later, and I thought 29 was like rubbish. But then actually I realized I turned 29 in a year where there's 29 days in February, so it's spooky.
What's going to happen when you turn 30?
I just turned
Nothing.
30. Just turned 30.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
We're all
Nicolas
going
Cage.
on a fancy holiday. Yeah.
You might actually have to have a party.
Yeah, I know. But it was good. Thank you very much for your wishes. I got some lovely things. I got a dice tower, dice rolling tray from Dan, which is really nice. My boss, who lives in Mexico, sent me some lovely rolling dice with some proper heft in them. So yeah, it's been really good. Like the overwhelming love from even everybody at the table, virtual table here as well, was really beautiful.
Oh, good. I found out that you share the birthday with my brother as well.
Yeah,
It was weird.
another winner on the 14th.
Another
Exactly.
I share a birthday with Saddam Hussein, so that's it. So you know, I just thought you'd all like to know that. Doesn't mean anything. There's no connection.
Do you know what's really weird about that, Sean? Me too. I share a birthday with a guy who instigated his death. I share a birthday with Tony Blair. Isn't that weird? Explains so much about our friendship.
It does, doesn't it? It does.
Is that foreshadowing what's going to happen to
I think
Sixsmith?
so. Not in the game, but in real life.
In real
You'll
life, I
find
will
this.
ensure Sean's hiding in a bunker in the desert somewhere at some point.
Listen,
Cool.
how do you
Only
know
on a
I'm
lie.
not already. This is camo, all right? This is my desert camo. Also, it was Diwali this week as well.
Yeah.
So we just want to say
Wish everyone
a
happy
big.
birthday.
Oh,
We
it was
shall
amazing.
be the light in the darkness. That's what we
Yes.
shall be.
I saw some amazing stuff from Diwali on Twitter. KP, I don't know if you guys follow him on Twitter, it's an awesome account. He was sharing photos of what he'd done for his wife of decorating his house, and it was just next level. And so much of the stuff coming out of India was just gorgeous. Deeply jealous of people actually getting to celebrate whilst we're stuck in dreary autumnal England with grey weather. So, you know, I hope everyone would have a nice Diwali.
Yeah, there was some nice fireworks.
Just throw it around the house.
Not quite the same thing, wrong festival.
it's not.
It's fine. It's
That one
fine.
did pretty well though, didn't it? Because I saw that Sadiq Khan was tweeting pictures that they put up around Trafalgar Square and other buildings and so on. They tried to make an effort. But,
Well, it's the new year, I believe, so
London.
it's a wonderful thing to celebrate. Talking of things to celebrate, Brad's moustache.
And
Well,
Also, Sean has a
have you-
moustache.
And Sean's moustache
It's
as well.
almost a
Yeah.
hornshoe.
No, it's
I
okay.
don't know if that's shadow from the camera, but you've got a hornshoe going on there, I think.
And do you know what? It takes about 8 weeks before it actually joins up, so you're not even going to see it join up. It's like 2 separate sections, isn't it?
It's like little knives on your chin.
Bradley, I
It's like
really
a little
appreciate
bit
that. You've made it
Mexican.
sound much nicer than I expected. Yeah, thanks for that, Christine. Yeah.
You're welcome.
When I was
Just
growing
gotta
up,
think about the playlists.
well, nobody told me when I was growing up that having just a moustache, because that was the first thing that grew on my face, right? Nothing else grew when I was at university, just a moustache only. And I never shaved it because I was so excited to have some facial hair, and I had a ponytail. And nobody told me that wasn't a
It
good
was
look.
amazing. No, it was a great look on
was
you,
a
man.
great look.
You basically looked like some kind of 90s extra bandit for the entire
Yes, I did.
time.
I had a goatee and long hair, Sean, when I was at university. And I looked like Antonio Banderas, except like his stunt double, the one that
Yeah.
doesn't look so good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I hope you went to a Halloween party as Zorro. It
I went-
happened, right?
I went to my graduation ball as
Zorro?
Aragorn because my
Oh, right.
hair was like full curly when it went through the thing, so I had my long cloak and went in. Yeah.
I
was it,
had
Dan?
I had a
What did you
soul
say?
patch. I had a soul patch at uni, and no one and short hair, and no one told me that made me look ridiculous either. So
We
I
were
had
all
a
ridiculous
hair
at
down to the
uni.
shoulders and a soul patch.
Yeah.
Well,
I remember that.
Was not a great look. Was
I
not a
think
great look.
next, I mean, maybe for the next logo for episode, for a significant episode, we have our university pictures of us.
Absolutely
Do
not.
you know what I mean?
There are no pictures of me at your university.
yeah.
I've
Oh, I
destroyed
see.
them all.
Sorry. Yes, the negatives will burn. Yeah.
Talking of negatives, what's I hear that something happened with Kale this week, Dan.
Oh no, Becki, you can
The
tell us
hideous
about
treat.
this, don't you?
The hideous treat, kale.
So after everyone was weighing in on kale last week on the stream, which personally I love, by the way, so I was quite hurt that everyone was so
just like
so
any normal
revolted
human.
by the concept. We had some great feedback actually coming in from people who'd been listening, who were assuring us that if you're not into it, you might just not be cooking it properly. And I absolutely agree. I think it's delicious. And genuinely, I'll happily eat it as it is. I'll put it in a smoothie. But so it was nice to receive some feedback in on that subject.
Yeah.
And keep weighing in on stuff, guys. If you're active
important
on the
issues.
chats,
Yeah.
feed into stuff. We are looking when we can, and we love kind of seeing how you guys are finding the episodes.
Yeah, we're going to compile some of your feedback and sort of chat about it soon. But no more victim shaming, all right? If I don't like kale, it's not my fault. Okay? It's not because I'm doing something wrong.
Apparently,
Okay.
it is. Apparently, it's psychology.
Kale's fault,
You've got bad
right?
psychology going on.
I thought
Night.
things like kale and Brussels sprouts and stuff was literally genetics.
It's
That you
coriander, for sure.
Only certain people can taste a
That's
specific chemical.
coriander apparently.
Yeah, I've
Coriander
definitely
makes it
heard
Or
that with coriander before.
cilantro for our North American friends.
Deja vu.
Okay.
We cooked with it last episode, didn't we?
Yes. So if you are enjoying tonight and you think something ridiculous is happening, #KaleGate. Let's make that a thing.
Where else, Ryan? Where else can they get in contact with us? Anyone who wants to find out what we're doing or interact with us?
We've got a Facebook page, we have a Twitter, and obviously Instagram. Those are all at Blood and Song. And I think that's it for now, but who knows what other magical socials will be coming in the future.
Talking of magic, shall we?
Good segue.
Nice.
Great transition.
Nice.
Better than the one comparing.
Yes,
what-
definitely.
Yeah, just don't mention it.
Than the one that, yeah.
So, with that being said, it's time to transition into tonight's episode of Blood and Song.
Johnny, what should we call you?
Coming back in. Sorry,
Okay.
I was muted.
That's fine. So, quick recap.
Classic.
He, him. As he... Last week, he, him, Dan, sorry. That really threw me. Sorry, Brad. So, previously, in Blood and Song, so smooth. Episode 3 before it fell apart. It's fine. 4? God, it's all
Oh,
gone.
it's episode 4.
It feels like episode 12,
Right,
doesn't it?
there I go. So previously in Blood and Song, you had attended the Festival of Falling Leaves. There had been a hoo-ha and a hootenanny, and something had gone wrong, and you were escorting Celia to Cinderbane to try and get her some healing, because whatever it was seemed to be beyond your magical arts. Along the way, you had met an ambassador for the country of Indiri, where 3 of our party hail from, and they had given you gifts and sent you on your way. On your way, you had come across Undra's Pass, which was a giant ravine, which was spearheaded by this large statue of Undra, the goddess of Earth, at which Faeza had left some offerings and made a small ritual prayer, had found a mysterious letter that you guys hadn't really found any more info on yet, and then you headed into the pass, where you met a motley band of bandits led by one Captain Grax Sparus, and Drax Sparrow's and the Goblin.
It's Jack Sparrow. We all know it's Jack Sparrow.
No, it's Drax.
Oh, sorry.
Draxilius Sparrow's.
Of course. Sorry.
And you'd managed to persuade him to surrender and give up his banditry. As far as you know.
Yeah, we think.
And he has disappeared with the few remaining of his crew. You'd then headed through the pass where you'd encountered some fallen boulders and managed to get the cart through via some excellent teamwork. And then, thanks to a very lucky roll, you had a day of complete uninterrupted travel, and you had just exited on the start of a new day on the 4th day of travel by my reckoning, on the start of an open plain. So the party find themselves on this open plain with the road that had become dirt and rubble behind them in the pass has now resumed and has become beautiful paved slabs. Ryan, as it was your birthday, you can make the first roll of the night.
Lovely. What dice would you like me to roll?
A D8, please.
It's a big boy. That's a 5.
5. TPK. No. Oh. So as you travel through the day, it's a crisp autumn day. The wind is blowing around. Your cloaks are swirling around you. Dead leaves and dead grass are floating, and it's like if anyone's played Ghost of Tsushima, where you just have these amazing plants just swaying in the breeze and sort of browning red grass kind of flying through the air around you. But other than that, it's actually pretty peaceful. And as you get to the evening of the fourth day, you pull in to Old Pass, which is a small settlement on the main road. This is where the road in Cinderbane, in Chinella, splits, and to the west it goes straight on to Glimmerwood, to the south to Cinderbane, which is where you are headed. Old Pass is a small town. It's filled with kind of general things. It's basically if a service station was a town, this is it. It's got some hostels, overpriced eateries. Everyone is wearing too much makeup and looks miserable. But they kind of eaning out this living at the side of the road. Would you like to stop there for the evening?
I check. We've travelled for a day, haven't we? When
Yes.
we got through the pass,
Yeah.
we had level 1 exhaustion, didn't we?
We certainly did. You will have you rested at the end of the pass, and then
Okay.
you've had another day, so you have now removed your exhaustion.
No, Lord, don't do that. Okay, that's all right. D&D.
Nice
I
check,
found it.
Christine.
It's okay.
Bookkeeping at its finest.
Thank you. It's
I
only
was
'cause
I
I'm
was about
so
to say
paranoid.
like teacher's pet. Like hopefully Johnny had forgotten that he'd given us exhaustion, and then you're there
No,
like
I-
asking
oh,
for
I wanted-
homework basically.
I genuinely wanted to check that I needed to take it off. I was hoping he'd say that.
So Sixsmith would say something like, Octavius, I know we're rushed for time, but if we stop, maybe we can barter for knowledge and supplies, maybe find some more information before we head off, make sure we're in the correct direction. What do you think?
I think that's a good plan. Yes. Yeah,
We
I
still have 62 gold from Captain Drax, not Sparrow.
We do.
Sparrows?
think-
That's it.
Does someone want to help me check on Celia in the back? Make sure she's all right.
I'll help you.
Okay,
Thank
would
you.
you two like to make a medicine check then?
That's a 4 from Seed.
It's only a 10 from Ripper.
So Celia's half-orc body lying in the back. To Seed. Celia looks dead. She's lying there, not doing anything. As Ripper looks at Celia, you can just about make out the faint movement of her chest. But again, you've put your hand to her forehead to feel her temperature. She feels cold. Absolutely cold. That's all you can tell.
Team, sorry, Seed.
I don't mean to alarm anybody, but I'm not really seeing a lot of signs of life.
I mean, I don't disagree with Seeds. There are a couple of signs of life, but I don't know if staying here long is a great idea for Celia. I feel like she's not doing very well.
So we should probably push on then and try
That
and
is
get
our
some help.
mission here. If we
agree.
don't get
Before
her in
we-
time,
Before we do, if we've still got the stones from when we rested in the past, if I heat them up with some prestidigitation, I still can't say it, prestidigitation, to try and keep her warm in the cart. And maybe if we got any cloths or anything we can get any cover we can give her that we might have.
Have you got that in the back of the cart?
Oh, that's a good idea. And I get some cloth and I produce flame, and here you
And it
go.
burns.
Some burning flame, burning cloth.
okay, not sure that's
Burning
what you
cloth?
meant.
No.
No. Oh. It keeps me warm.
Okay, Seed's gonna take their cloak off that has fur around the collar and say, "Is this what you meant?"
Oh yes, please.
And I'll try and tuck Celia in a sort of slightly like parcel wrapping kind of awkward way.
Make me a... Oh my god, what do I call this? Sleight of hands check.
See, he's trying to
Cool.
do it very, like, politely, you know? Like, where you're sort of trying not to poke the poor person.
I call it
to be
cocooning.
a 12.
12. So with that, Seed walks around and, as far as they can tell, wraps Celia in... Yes, cocooning is a good word, Ryan, in a way that she sort of resembles a larva as it's pupating. But, you know, nice, lots of warm wool fur around her neck. She looks very snug in there.
Can I make some sort of check to see, will she be okay if we take some time here and see the lay of the land, the rest stops, and maybe
Make a
get some
medicine check.
R&R?
That face.
8.
8. You can just about see the chest breathing, but you have a lot more experience, 6, of seeing bodies with things stuck in them and bleeding than you necessarily do trying to bring them back after you've stuck them and watched them bleed.
From when I...
Yeah, I think she's fine. She's fine.
Well, no, so when I inspected her about 3 days ago, she's not going to survive more than another day and a half without proper food or water.
I agree. I feel we should probably push on, huh?
Should we ask how far away we are from Cinderbane?
Yeah, I
Do
think we
you
should
know how
also
far
see
we are now?
if they have a medicine man or whatever you would call it in this area, a medic or some kind of...
Well, I have some medical training, but it wasn't good enough for whatever ails her.
Neither
We
was
need a
the-
specialist.
Yeah, the
Well, if I
medicine
seek
man
out
with the-
maybe the leader of this camp... sorry, Faeza, you had something...
the medicine man with the ambassador seemed to be one of the best medical people we've ever met, and he didn't have a clue what was going on with her. So
That is a good point. We need someone
I think-
even more
I don't-
specialist than maybe we thought.
I don't
Six.
think we'll find anyone here.
So 6, Faeza, I know you guys want to ask around this area. Why don't you guys have a look, ask some questions, but I feel like if we stay here, she would not going to make it.
I agree.
Okay,
Pick
so
up supplies
you've got
and
a
go.
couple of places you could ask. There are, as I say, a couple of hostels along the side of the road. You see some legionnaires. They've all got large rectangular curved shields that they're sort of leaning on, and pillars that are just kind of knocked nonchalantly, where they're doing that thing where they're leaning against their body and they're leaning against their thing. They're not actually holding their spear, they're just kind of there gesturing with one hand, chatting to each other.
Can I see a emblem anywhere on
You
their persons?
certainly can. As you look, you see underneath their legion tattoos are showing, and you see tattoos of hydras, and on the griffins, and on the shield you see again the resplendent golden griffin on the red
Griffins.
shields. Yes. So you would know this to be people of the 4th Legion.
And they're quite non-communicative, right? They're
Dogs' bodies.
yeah.
They're the Legion that aren't ever asked to go to the front.
I would suggest asking the hostel. They would probably know the direction to Cinderbane and give us a reasonable answer.
Well, we know the direction because the road goes south towards Cinderbane, doesn't it? So we just need to have an idea of how long we've got to travel, and maybe if we've got enough rations to last us that way. How many days have we been traveling so far? Has anyone been keeping score?
This is so far for 4 days.
Yeah.
4 days. So we've had 5 days worth of rations. So if it's a day's travel, then we know we've got enough food, and we can push on through.
Got enough food, plus we got the extra rations that we used from the matey boy. So yeah, we're good for food and rations.
Okay.
So Sixsmith will be doing his armor and stuff. He needs a small rest, not a legitimate rest, but just something to sort of get the lay of the land, do his armor, get himself sorted in case there's another battle, chainmail and so on, oil the chainmail. And but I think he infers that maybe it's worth asking it just to see if there are any dangers up ahead or if there's anything we need to know about on the route. So maybe the hostel is a good idea if Octavius doesn't think that the legionnaires are.
They will talk to us, but I'm not sure they will give us the answers straight. The hostel will be more amiable. Sorry.
Might I suggest we go in separately? I have a headband which I can pull over my ears to make me look a little bit less gnomish, and I am quite small. So if I sneak in and subtly sit down in a corner, maybe I'll overhear something, and then you can ask the host directly, and maybe we'll get some more information that way.
I am not good at talking to people. I will stay here and guard the cart.
Okay.
I'm going to take Granny to get a drink because she's been doing some hard work and we've established a bit of a relationship over the last couple of days. So,
have you named the mule Granny?
Correct. That's right.
Fair enough.
Alice knows what's right, huh?
I can.
You know what Mother used to say? Granny knows.
Granny shows.
There
Always. She knows, she shows.
Sometimes too much.
Sometimes too much. Too much of the leg, too much of the arm, you know. Yeah. So Sixsmith will say something like, give me the signal if there's any trouble. You all know the signal, don't you? Somebody give me the signal.
I
no, there's trouble.
I think you might
very, very subtle.
Great.
And I'll come and help you. Otherwise, I have a few things to attend to if you don't mind, and I'll stay at the cart and just busy myself. And he'll sort himself out, I think, unless he's needed for something.
Hey.
Okay, so who's going in first to the hostel then?
I might go in first.
So you're trying to sneak in?
Oh no, I think I'll probably go in, as incognito and just maybe buy a small half pint and then go and sit in the corner. Because a half pint will probably be the equivalent of about 2 pints to me. So
they come in pints, you know.
Sorry, I had to get it. So as these buildings are again the sort of grey stone now, quite low. They've still got the red tiled roofs that are very reminiscent of everywhere in Chanella. And as you push open this wooden door, you see a dimly lit room. Most of the furniture is wooden and quite intricately decorated, and the floor itself is actually tiled. It's this mosaic pattern that resembles just a flower, and it's sort of red and white and orange and sort of snaking and looping around. There is a small desk in there behind which is stood a small human lady with quite long purple hair.
Ooh. Okay. I think I'll just go up to the bar, nod my greetings, and ask if she could perhaps serve me a half pint of ale.
Okay. So this woman who is doing thing that you go into anywhere that even resembles a tavern, anywhere in the multiverse, and all innkeepers / tavern keepers / pub owners are doing the exact same thing. She's polishing a tankard, except this tankard is made out of terracotta rather than like an actual steel tankard, and it is actually a cup, but she's polishing it nonetheless. And she looks around for a moment and goes, "Who is that?"
"Oh, there you are, darling. How can I help you now?"
"Oh, I just wondered if I could get a bit of sustenance before I leave. Maybe just a small drink. Is that okay?"
Right. How old are you?
"Oh, I'm small for my age." very much so. I'm actually. I don't know how old humans are when they're this small.
Roll me a deception
I'm 30.
check.
I'm 30. Maybe. I don't know. That's quite young. Oh no, my deception's terrible. Okay.
So, though, to be fair, you are telling the truth. It
18.
just sounds deceptive.
Okay.
18.
So as you stumble somewhat over your explanation, she looks more and more confused. And she goes, right, well, I'll just get you some wine, shall I?
Thank you.
Yeah. And then she disappears and she pulls over this large jug and you see it pouring and there's this wonderful, almost kind of greenish coloured wine that pours in and she hands you this terracotta cup. As you take it, you notice that all around the lip of the cup, it's actually got the same similar etchings as the floor, which is this kind of flower pattern.
Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, can I ask what this symbol might mean, the flowers?
Right, well, see, when the rains stop, right, sometimes these flowers just like to grow and they're really pretty and we like put them on mugs and things. You're not from around here, are you?
No, I'm a traveller. And you know, as I imagine a lot of people who travel through your hostelry are.
Yeah, I
wow.
see a lot of them, yeah.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for the drink. And can I look around?
That's 2 copper, please. Don't just start having a drink and walking off.
Of course. Yes, 2 copper, and I will pass that over.
She slides it and
Can
puts
I-
it into her pouch.
Can I just confirm, was it only Faeza that went into the hostel?
At the
So
moment.
far.
Yeah. Can I look around and see if there's an empty table somewhere that's like maybe on it, you know, away from the bustling groups?
This has got the hostel kind of has this atmosphere, and this is a real early noughties throwback. If you've ever gone to Ocean nightclub, but at about 4 p.m, where it's the floors haven't been cleaned, it's all still a bit sticky, it's sort of got this dismal feeling like it's somewhere between some kind of geriatric snooker club and the darkest depths of depression. It's just sort of, it's quite pretty, but it's very bleak. Most things are very empty. The few people that are in there that you assume must be locals have expressions on their face that tell you they have probably never drunk in another watering hole in their lives, and they're perfectly happy to keep drinking here forever, but they very much keep to themselves.
Every Weatherspoons in
Reference,
the
by
UK during the day, basically, is what you're saying. Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, kind of. But, you know, without the huge racism.
So, how many tables are there?
Not huge
How many-
racism, anyway. Maybe just a slight bit of racism.
How many are occupied?
2. There's probably only about 5-10 tables in here, although this is a main thoroughfare for one of the roads in the Republic. You get the sense that Old Pass is not necessarily a place people stop if they can help it.
Okay, well, I'll just slide over to a table next to one of the locals subtly and just sit down. I say subtly, you know what I mean. I'll just go there and ignore them so I can just listen.
Okay,
Nice
so
stealthy thing about it.
sit down on this table next to this rather elderly looking minotaur who has got kind of long greying mane and kind of quite wispy horns that have kind of almost tobacco stained, wearing like a rough flannel jacket, and he looks at you with sort of bewilderment, as in kind of looks around the room, goes, "There's a load of free tables and you just sat next to me."
I'm not at the same table as him. I'm at a table that's near to him. Does that matter?
Yeah, I can see that, but it's next to me, innit?
It's just a table. Like there are many tables. I'm very small. I promise I won't take up much room, and I won't talk. And I'll just sit as quietly as you want me to, unless you want
Yeah.
to talk.
No.
Okay,
And he kind of quite deliberately turns his back.
righto. I will sit and stay and try and be quiet.
Okay. Anyone else doing anything at this point?
Part of me is desperate to see Faeza steal that mug. You know, when you go to like a brewery somewhere in the country and they have special mugs, someone at the table pockets it, right? Someone has to.
She can
That
certainly
might not be Faeza's style, but I would be upset if it didn't get added
Let's
to the
just
mug
see what happens in
collection.
the room. There's not that many people. I don't think I'm going to try and thieve anything just at the moment.
I think Ripper comes barreling into the hostel. Thank you very much. Comes barreling into the hostel, flies open the door, walks straight. Faeza!
Oh, Jesus.
What? You have an half? All right. Oh, I get one too. Yeah. And I think he'll walk up to the bar. Excuse me, love.
Oh, hello. Can I help you?
Yeah, can I get half a wine, please? Anything will do, really.
Half a wine?
Yeah, it's cutting season.
What? Half? But you've got wine every day. How are you going to get half a wine?
Well, you know what I mean. I don't know, whatever. A small. I don't know how you do it here. Look, where I'm from, you get half or pint of wine.
A pint of wine?
Yeah, come on. That's only that's only one large glass less than an entire bottle, And let's face it, no one drinks one glass of wine, do they? So, pint of wine makes sense.
Right you are, sir.
And she turns around and she pulls out the what I call the Pawnee Small from Parks and Rec. That's it looks like kind of the size of a small child, and she just fills it with one jug of wine. Be right back. It runs into the back, comes back, fills it with a second one, and then passes it over, and says,
"Is a pint of wine for you? That'll be 5 copper, please."
Yeah, sure. I mean, it did say an half, but you know what? Pint of wine, why not? When in Chinella, treat yourself. Faeza, you seen the design on these cups, love?
Oh, Jesus. I'm probably going to look at the Minotaur and go, I'm really sorry. And
looks
maybe,
at you.
yeah, maybe get up and move to another table that might be near someone else.
Have you got an outdoor liquor license? Can I drink this outside?
I'll drink it where you like, love.
All right, thank you very much. Faeza, we're waiting by the cart, love. Whenever you're ready, yeah? We'll see you outside whenever you finish up. And then he walks out with his microphone. God, I ain't drunk wine like this in ages. I think it's funny.
Hey, is anyone drinking this wine, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So, first thing you notice is it tastes like gooseberry. This is gooseberry wine, hence the slight greenish tinge. Second thing is, can you make me a constitution check, please, Ryan?
Of course I can. No issues there. That is going to be a 16.
Yeah, it's fine. This is, you now notice, drinking a pint, actually fortified wine, and is really quite strong. But to your giant frame and experienced liver, this is a pleasant drink. Faeza, I'm assuming you're sipping your little drink.
Yes, I don't think I've drunk anything out of it yet. But
Marvellous.
So can I ask who I might have sat next to next? Because
Sure.
I've moved away from the grumpy Minotaur.
So as you moved over to the other side, there are, you see two what look like workers. They've kind of got rugged hands. You're looking at them again, you'd probably think they're probably carters or something like that, who spend their days just loading and unloading carts for people making the journey through town, who are just sat there having a conversation with each other.
Okay, I might listen to the conversation for a little bit to start.
Okay, make me a perception check, please.
Righto. Oh, 10.
10? No, that's perfectly reasonable. So you hear them chatting, and they're just kind of having, sharing gossip over lunch. What begins with a quick discussion about, how's your wife? Yeah, she's all right. How's your wife? Yeah, she's all right. How's your boy? He's all right. How's your girl? Yeah, she's all right. Suddenly turns to then gossip about the town and visitors that have passed through. And you see the slightly more sober of the pair start talking. He goes, yeah, there's all sorts going on. Going mad. That one bloke just come out of Cinderbane. Said that there's a load of ruckus down there. They found this bloke. Went completely mental in the middle of the town and started, just punching people.
Just going mad, just punching people in the middle of the forum. No reason for it. Had to have the Legion drag him out in the end. What? Dragging him out? What's he doing punching people in the middle of the forum? Oh, no one knows, mate.
Okay. Faeza's a bit unsure how to start because she's not really that subtle. Hello, how are you? I'm couldn't help but overhear, but I'm travelling to Cinderbane. I can't believe. I hope you don't mind me noticing that you said about somebody going mad in the middle of the town. Gosh, that sounds ever so scary. Yeah.
So these two workers turn to you, and you see that they are both human, and they have that sort of careworn figure of people who've been working since they were probably about 8 in manual labour. That it's sort of hard to place their exact age, somewhere between 25 and 50. They've sort of got that very leathery skin, very warm. They've clearly been drinking a lot every day, all their lives, and they turn to you and they say,
"Oh, hello there, you. Yeah, going mad. So you're going to Cinderbane? What are you doing?"
Well, I hope so. We have a friend of ours who's not very well, and we were hoping to take them to get some medicine. I just dropped in just for a moment while my colleagues collect themselves to get a little drink, and maybe to ask if anybody knew of the journey to Cinderbane and knew of any news on the way. But this sounds
second
terrible.
one.
Has there been other stories?
the second one kind of cuts in and goes,
Oh yeah, if you're going to get your friend seen, you probably want to go to Dariel's Hope. It's it's like the healing centre there. Yeah, you can't miss it. It's just past the forum. Huge building.
Thank you.
And he goes, I was talking. She said other stories. Yeah, loads going on. What a time to be alive. Well, there's loads of skirmishes happening in the north. The Legion's just started recruiting like mad recently. Oh, almost dragging them off the streets. Who do you know has been dragged off the streets? Well, no one, but you know what they say. Like, whenever there's a problem, people just get dragged off the streets. So, have you seen anyone actually get dragged off the streets? Well, they're recruiting anyway, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, that's going on. No, people fighting. No one knows why he was fighting. Just some bloke started running up, screaming, all sorts of rumours. I heard he had, like, smoke coming out of his eyes. Don't be stupid, that's just like a myth, innit? Smoke coming out of his eyes. Who's ever had smoke coming out of their eyes?
Okay. That's amazing. That's what a story to hear. Where did you hear the story from?
Oh, just one of the traders that was passing through recently. He's on his way back to Elderspire, telling some yarns around a pint.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well, I mean, did he talk of anything else happening on the road on the way here?
I'm not exactly sure. And then he goes, "Oi, John, don't you remember? He said he'd seen that giant bird, like, flying over. Only flies at night, though. So he claimed he saw it. What he saw was a big shadow at night. That's it."
God, oh no, I know that's for real. We saw it 2 nights ago. We saw it. Oh yes.
No way. Where was that?
Between here and Elderspire. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, blimey, big old bird flying around. What a time to be alive.
Oh, I know. well, thank you very much for your conversation and your company. I wish you well.
You too.
Have a good evening. And I tell you what, I haven't actually drunk this drink, but you fine gentlemen look like you deserve this. So I'll let you share it between yourselves. And I'll be on my way. Thank you very much.
Nice. Very nice to meet you. See ya.
Ripper comes back through the door. At this point in real life, I would do a big burp, but I've never learned how to fake burp my entire life. So you have to just imagine.
For the best.
Imagine he does it. Ripper's like, "Our wine was lovely. Faeza, what'd you think of it?"
Oh gosh. I honestly, it was unbelievable. just so fine. What an aroma. It was lovely.
I mean, is that or is that not a deception check? I just don't know.
Oh, you start. You're not the DM.
Yeah. I call the checks around here, buddy.
Hey, I was just throwing it out there, just
No need. No, I'm gonna let her have this one.
Thank you. And I'm going to try and I'm not going to have much chance, but I'm gonna perhaps use what should I use? Just something to poke Ripper in the ribs and go, shall we leave? And go without waiting for him.
Yeah, of course. And he gives the glass back to the owner and walks out. He's one of those people that brings his glasses back in.
Yeah.
Good to know.
I really like the idea, and I don't know how you want to play this, but I'm just getting ready to leave. But I just loved if I'd gone to the Legionnaires and the last snippet of conversation, because maybe there's just a sort of an average respect. Like if two doctors meet up, it's just a bit of respect. And then the tail end of my conversation is, So anyway, I've got to go, but if you ever find one of those spears that goes flying out, and then and then it comes back into your hand, you really must try it. Let me know if you
flies past his ear, and comes back. You can't even see me. It's just like.
What you notice as you're talking to these Legionnaires, Sixsmith, is that they barely know. They kind of got the same level of reaction as bouncers, like yeah.
I sort of imagine that. Yeah, sure. And I'm sort of talking as if we've got a fantastic rapport. Sixsmith just going on and on and on about spears and weapons and things. Oh, lovely weapons you've got. Oh, wonderful. The armor and interior and just all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And then he notices Ripper and Faeza coming out of the bar and sort of makes his exit.
How did it go? What did we learn? What information do we have about the road ahead?
Well, we've learned they've got some beautiful pottery, and there's also this lovely mosaic. For some reason, they're very crafty in this town, but I'm not sure who made it all. Oranges and greens, they're really nice. I took a little sketch of the flower that's in the mosaic in the floor. So I can show you if you like.
Yeah, I'd love to see that.
Oh,
It's
okay.
wonderful.
No problem.
I appreciate the drawings, but the town?
Oh, I see. Yes, of sure. Okay. Well, the two gentlemen I was talking to, one I'm not entirely sure if he's someone who tells a story or gives you information. I felt like he liked a story rather than information, but he did tell me that there has been a bit of a problem in Cinderbane, with somebody apparently lost control in the forum. But I learned that there's a place called Dariel's Hope, which is where we can take Celia. And I also learned that that they saw the dark bird. The dark, I thought it might be some kind of other flying creature. So we're not the only one who saw that creature around. But yes, Dariel's Hope, just past the forum, which is also where that man went mad. Yes. I think we've got a direction. So and there doesn't seem to be much.
Did you find out how long it would take us?
Oh no, I didn't. I'm really
If
sorry.
there were any troubles on the road ahead, any issues,
It will take us as long as it takes us. We might as well get off now.
Okay.
Not a bad shout.
So you're going to leave the town. I say it's sort of night time now. You've been travelling. This is the end of the 4th day, and travel through the night without a rest.
Oh look, you want to give us another point of exhaustion, Johnny.
It's your choice. It's your adventure.
I think we should push on.
I think I agree, Octavius.
How many of us can sleep in the back of the cart?
No one. Celia is taking up all the room in the cart.
Maybe half a Faeza, maybe.
A cart and a donkey in this village that we could buy?
You could certainly find out. You could try going to the stables.
Hey, people at the stables, what do I call you?
Hello there. You can call me Vilius.
Brilliant, Willius. Let's look at. I'd like to buy a donkey and a cart, enough for at
Right.
least 3 of my friends to sleep in.
Right, all right. Well, if you don't want people to sleep in it, you're going to want one of the executive sort of like wagon carts, really.
Wow,
Now, we've got some lovely models, just barely used.
Just get to the point. How much is it going to cost?
Well, do you want one that's just like wheels and woods? Do you want some of the little added extras,
Tell you
like
what,
a roof?
Give me the quotes. I'll have a think.
Okay, right. Well,
for the you got your basic model
Yeah.
down here. That's going to set you back about 25 golds.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got now. That's literally, you probably won't get all of you in there, but no roof. And he points to a cart that make me a insight check.
Okay. Oh, I'm going to use my real dice. 14.
It should be illegal to call this thing a cart. There is a Trade Descriptions Act in our world, not in Chinella. This is some bits of wood with vaguely round things attached, and the donkeys that are kind of vaguely nearby that look like they might go with it look like they've been working for most of their lives and they're about to give up.
Okay. Well, that looks lovely, but I'd save that for your mother. What else are we looking for?
So he goes, all right, this one, lovely. Added extras in here, right? And he goes in and he shows you. And this one, it has, see, lovely wheels here. It's got metal plated hubcaps, lovely.
Very good, yeah.
Got a roof on it. Look at this little wagon cover goes over the top. And look at this.
Takes you round to the seat, which is a little bit covered. And he points down at what is ostensibly like a toolbox that's been screwed on. He goes, cup holders.
I know a friend of mine who really will appreciate that. How much is this?
So this one, lovely little number. Only one owner. Yeah, old woman. Used to take it to Temple and back every Sunday.
Lovely.
Now, we can let this go for the very reasonable price of 75 golds.
That's a lovely price. I was looking more at 40.
It's not really going to work, I'm afraid.
I know, but I was going to give it to you now. I heard there's a madman around the place. He's been smashing stuff up. I wouldn't want your thing to be broken like this and you'd be left with your mother's cart, which is had seen some life, let's be fair. So I'll take it off you for 47 and we'll be done. It's great.
Make me a persuasion check.
Can I assist
Should've
in
been
some
me.
way by like maybe going up and like just knocking it gently, not in an aggressive way, but in the way that you test it, and then in a movie or a cartoon something falls off if it's dodgy. Just sort of.
Did you state you were there with him, or are we magically appearing?
I didn't want to interrupt Lack's flow, but I figured that Six would be not wanting to get involved in the thing, but would want to
Mainly
be
big
there to
brothering the
step in
whole
as a
thing.
big brother. Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
as big
right.
brother in the whole
In
thing.
that case, make me an intimidation check. 6. Well, we're going to wait on the intimidation check to see if Lack gets advantage.
It was a dirty 20.
But that's brilliant. I've rolled an 18 on my first roll plus 2, so let's see. And a 17 on the second one. So that's 19 or 20.
So as
20.
Six walks over and just hits the cart, you notice that nothing really falls off, but it doesn't go beyond the quite scrawny, definitely not a cart salesman, that there's this large soldier who's just looking a bit scary and hitting things. And your words are very persuasive. Like he goes,
Yes.
yeah, I can see why you might think that. I do have a counter offer though.
Okay.
Guards!
Ah, that's
And
cool.
he shouts, and two legionnaires that Six have been talking to earlier just kind of put their head around the gates and go, what?
You see this man, he tried to sell me this cart. He actually tried to... Can you see this cart? He tried to sell me this cart. It's fine. I let him off for that. He gave me an offer of 70 for this cart and these donkeys. Let's be fair. That's an encouraging, quite optimistic idea. So I played the game. Offered him 40. I'm never going to pay him 40. But if we come to an agreement of 55, I don't think anyone needs to get involved. You know, my brother here, recently from the army. You're from the army. Everyone wants to play along. And this young gentleman here.
Recently we had the ambassador himself wish us well on our journey from Indiri. We would not want a diplomatic incident. And then Sixsmith sort of wanders off again casually as he drops that.
Right, so Vilius turns around and goes, yeah, guards, can you, yeah, come on, thank you very much. And as they wander, goes, right, look, I don't know how you do things over there in Indiri, but round here, we have a price, and you pay it.
Oh, see, I'm new to these customs, and I didn't know this is how we do it over there, of course. So I would price this at 100. I thought this guy was doing very bad haggling, to be honest. I would say 100. He would say 20. I would say 70. He would say 30. I'd say 40. And then somehow we'd end up at 22, which is the actual price of this thing, right? So I totally get this. Apologies. No need to be racist about the whole thing. So we'll call it 60, and no offense done for anyone.
Make me another persuasion check.
This isn't going to go so well, I feel it. Oh, 17 plus 2, 19. Thank you, Paladin Dice.
So the two soldiers look at him and go, oh, Vilius, just sell him the cart. You know it's not worth 75. Just, do you know what I mean? Take the offer. And he's well, I thought you were here to protect merchants' rights. They can't just come in here
I
demanding
think he's
what they
protecting
like.
your rights, because I'm going to talk very highly of you on the road about how you sold me a wonderful cart at a decent price, and you'd be able to sell more. I'm doing you a favour here. I'll even light an incense for you tonight as we travel.
Jan, we have a traveling paladin of sorts, a man of great repute who will sing the praises of your
We're
establishment.
going to Cinderbane now, we send people your way.
Right, well, and the guy's like, Vilius, do you really want to go up before the Tribune? Right you are, yes, and 60 was that we said?
Yeah, okay, my friends. Everyone, just wondering if you have any gold pieces on you that we can donate to this.
Does anybody have the 62 gold pieces that we got from Captain Drax when we made him empty his pockets?
That's a very good idea. I shall hand over that bag if anyone gives it to me. Who took it? It might have been me.
I think it was. I think it was. you.
We'll go.
Yes.
Oh, and I said,
Thank you for
no,
brevity,
look,
you've got the
it's
money.
just here. Look, I tell you what, 2 gold pieces extra for your goodwill. Thank you so much. Nice doing business with you. And I'll take
Right, here you go then. And he hands over the key to the cart. And
the lock.
no, the key to the lock where the 2 mules are tied up that you will take to Pillar. So you now have 2 carts and 3 mules, and this won't be at all expensive to keep.
No.
And so
Granny's on her way out. Let's be honest.
Hey, we know the value of them. We'll just sell them at the next place, considering that it's fixed value. 6 just quickly says to the guards just before they leave, just out of interest, I'm wondering about your customs here. What is the tribunal, or the something you were mentioning earlier on? Is there something we should be knowledgeable about as tourists?
So the guards look at you and just going to give you this odd look. And Tribune. He's in charge of our company down here. That's it. It's just a rank, mate.
Okay.
He's a bit of a bastard, to be honest. See, he doesn't really like being bothered with small things.
His reach, just briefly, is all of this area, or just this hamlet, this place?
Well, he's looking over like everything within the realm of Cinderbane, really. We're technically part of the same state.
Oh, thank you for your time. I appreciate it, gentlemen.
I'll take the cart back to the group. Everyone, I have a place for us to sleep now as we're going. Probably not all of us, but someone should look after the mules. Granny, meet auntie, meet uncle, and we're going to go down the road together. Everyone.
Okay, so there are 2 mules. Who is riding the second cart?
I'll stay with Celia and keep refreshing the prestidigitation on the stones. That makes sense to anybody else.
Octavius will still pull an all-nighter and lead the first cart, whichever one's in front.
Okay.
I'll do the other cart. I'll take the first watch on the other cart, and then someone else can switch over with me in the back of that one.
I'll switch with you. Which cart are you in? The one with?
I'm in
Celia?
the one with the 2. Could you fit in the one with Celia? Because of your height advantage.
Can I fit in with Celia? Do we think, or is that?
Yeah, I'd say there's probably enough room for you to kind of huddle in the corner at least. It wouldn't be the most
I'll do that.
comfortable night, but you could rest there.
It's all right.
So Seed Lax 6, you're in this one with me. Octavius, Faeza, you're in the one with Celia. Octavius, you want to lead the way?
Wonderful. Well, we're in
Yes,
Recede. We
let
can
us be
show
off.
some of our food.
We've already
So
spent a
cook some more.
long time here. We need to
Yes, we need
get
to move.
moving.
Did you want to be in one of the carts or cover the rear of the journey?
I'm happy to watch the back if you want.
Okay.
I mean, I got the cart so we could sleep, so it's probably worth some of us using that, huh?
Well, if 3 of us are awake and 3 of us asleep, we could switch that way.
Yeah.
So
Sounds great. Sounds great.
I'm asleep.
Okay, so
as
whoever's riding first, so I believe that was Ripper and Octavius, need to make me animal handling checks, please.
Oh, decent, finally. 23 for me.
19 for me.
So Granny seems to be becoming accustomed to your presence now, Octavius, and permits you to lead the carts. Auntie and Uncle seem to be absolutely fine with Ripper. Something about the smells just seems lovely and familiar. And it's probably like wonderful oils and things he's wearing are just smell of like lovely flowers and plants to them.
Is it not the burps from the gooseberry wine that they're so used to?
Possibly. And they allow you to lead. So the others are taking long rests in the back. Can you well, for comfort, how are we going to do that? Okay, can you all make me a constitution check, please?
I mean, Octavius will not be taking a long rest regardless.
No, well,
so...
Ripper and Octavius are driving at the moment, so
Yeah.
they can't do this yet.
Yeah.
15 in total.
15.
Got 16.
I'm going to set the DC at 12.
Face doesn't tell a good picture.
6, how did you do?
What? Oh, sorry, I got 6 is what I was saying.
Right, sorry, we didn't hear you, you're muted.
I was just saying
C?
6 and I assumed you meant... Yeah.
I'm on 8.
8. So everyone gets a long rest who is sleeping in the back. Anyone who got under 12 also takes a point of exhaustion when they wake up.
There it is.
There it is.
Exhaustion. Then I'm assuming, are you just driving the entire night then, Octavius and Ripper?
Octavius is not going to accept going to rest now that he has his mission of getting there before the morning.
Okay.
I'll take over with Auntie and Uncle. You go sleep.
I'll do
So
it.
likewise, Ripper, can you make me a con check?
Oh, that's a natural 20, so 22 in total.
Lovely sleep. Yeah. Long nights. You get a long rest. Absolutely fine.
Been in much
pint
worse
of wine.
positions.
Okay. So, Octavius, as you were there all night, could you please make me a perception check?
Yes, I can. That is going back to the poor rolls. That's 11.
Okay. The night seems very quiet. These stars actually shine through as the cold of the autumnal winds just kind of blow through you. And at some point, probably about 3 in the morning, as the other cart's behind you and you can't see whoever's there, also quietly resting, there's a quiet snores coming from someone in the back. You look up and just staring at the stars, and you look around you, and you look to the south, where you're headed straight in front, and you know somewhere out there is your destination. What you spy far, far in the distance is sort of a soft orange glow that suggests that's probably some kind of civilization. At night, it's hard to gauge how far away it is with that roll.
I can see the town now. I don't know how far away it is, but we are within visible distance.
That's good. Octavius, good.
So the morning comes around, and now, Octavius, can you take a point of exhaustion because you pushed through the night?
Oh, of course.
And the fields are still fairly flat going forwards. You can see far, far in the distance like a grey smudge of a city, and by the morning, between you, you could all work out that you've still got a full day's travel. You'll think you'll get to the city around kind of 3-4 o'clock. So then we come to a travel roll, and Ripper, oh no, you did the last one, didn't you? Sixsmith, can you make a travel roll for me, please? D8.
That was 8. 8 for that roll.
8. Okay. So it's a relatively quiet morning with the new mules that you've got pulling along down the now much broader road. You notice it's becoming kind of an imperial highway by this point. You see odd patrols going past you of legionnaires, just small groups of 10. Other than that, you see travellers, carts starting to go past. You get the sense that this is a slightly busier, say more populous route. There's nothing else really of note, and you travel through for a good 7-8 hours until it gets to about 3:30, 4 o'clock. The sun's just starting to dip, the sky goes orange, and the town is looming closer, or the city is looming closer and closer. And can you all make me a perception check, please, as you're coming up on the city?
26.
2.
23.
Yeah. 4.
I'm not much better. Yeah, I'm 4 as well.
Sorry,
Faeza?
disadvantage.
Oh,
of
I
mine.
can't have 4. It's 6.
7.
Oh, so I got a 23.
Right. Faeza, I didn't hear you, sorry.
9.
Thank you kindly. So everyone else, other than Ripper, sees the city. What everyone does notice is you've all travelled through Chanella and seen a few places, at least from Port Moon in the far east to obviously the small towns you've passed through, and the common things you've seen are white buildings or buildings painted white with these red tiled roofs. The walls around cities tend to be made of marble. Here, the walls look black. As you get closer to you, everyone else, they just seem like black stone. But Ripper, as you can get closer, you see actually smudges of white in the walls. And as the sun's setting and not glinting, but shining behind these walls, you see actually that they look like they've been set on fire, like marble has been exposed to some kind of flames that has completely scorched this marble. In fact, it's got almost like a melted texture. Some of the wall at the top is sort of overhanging and has sort of striations and bubbles in it, like it has been superheated and yet charred at the same time. In fact, as you look further south with your 22, you can see on the horizon, way, way, way south, looks like fire. It's not literal fire, but it's just like this twinkling orange, like cinders flying through the air. And as you come up to the gate, which is in the northeast quadrant of the city, you are stopped by legionnaires, all again with the same logo of the 4th Legion.
I feel like before we carry on, I need to get a photo of myself for Chinstagram.
No. No. What's the opposite of inspiration? No.
Dead.
Yeah.
Rock's fault, everyone dies.
So, yeah, these legionnaires stop you and say, "Halt! Business in Cinderbane."
We are here to seek the attention of the healer at Daryl's Hope.
All right. Any weapons to declare or wanted status in anywhere in Chanella?
Yeah, we've got
none of
all
us.
got lots of weapons on us.
We have weapons.
But defense only, of course.
Yes. We did encounter deserters on the road from what was the city called? The town? I can't remember.
Well,
Oh,
it's
from Redwater.
inconsequential. We saved their lives and allowed them to live much better, more peaceful lives with a strong future to become good members of society. We did.
I would say that
Chinella
we took
a
the
favour.
wise route of escaping with our healer, with our injured, so that we could report the location of these deserters.
Right. Thanks.
I
Now
know.
we've got to do paperwork.
You have
Where did you see them?
near Ondra's Pass. They said they lived slightly south of Ondra's Pass, near the
Right.
Blighted Wastes.
Any distinguishing features or names that you heard?
They were goblins. Draxilus.
Yeah, Jack
Draxilus-
Sparrow was one of them, I think,
Yeah.
wasn't he?
Sparrows.
Jack
Draxilus
Sparrow.
Axilla
I think.
Sparus.
Yes, yes.
And one of the guards at the side goes, Draxilla Sparus? Oh, he's so famous. I've heard of him, you know. It's like, yeah,
That doesn't mean he's good. Just pipe down.
He's
pipe
an
down.
idiot. He's an idiot.
Yeah, he is. Right. Yeah, just go through the forum. You'll find Daryl's Hope there. No problems. Keep your weapons in the sheaths whilst you're in town, please. Under no circumstances take them out. Otherwise you'll have us to deal with. The guard kind of looks you over, Octavius, and he sees clearly your bearing. Goes, who to serve with?
I was with the Lion Regiment.
Marvellous. Can I see it?
Of course, yes. And I show him the bronze lion on my arm.
We see this tattoo
right.
that's, again, glowing with this wonderful kind of bronze suffusion. And he goes, oh, 10? Muted, sir?
Just
Oh,
under,
we just lost it,
yes.
Well, lovely. Well, good on you. You know, just make sure they're all right. Yeah, no
I will, of
funny
course,
business.
keep an eye on them, yes. We're just
Right,
here
good.
for the healer.
In you go. And you pass into the city of Cinderbane. You come into buildings that, again, are blackened. All these, you can't really tell what stone they're made out of. They just bear scorch marks. You see lots of people cleaning and scrubbing the sides of the buildings, but nothing's coming off. So you get the sense that these are the permanent colour of these buildings now, rather than an aberration or a recent event. You come into what they call Traders Road, where you just see hawkers and outside shops. You see tavernas and street food sellers just lining the road.
Wow,
I
this place is amazing.
Yes, be careful you don't get soot on you. The blighted wastes roll through a firestorm every now and then. It hasn't had one for a long time now, but be wary.
Is the soot dangerous to the skin?
No,
or is
you
it
just get
bad for the
dirty.
lungs? Oh, okay.
Unnecessarily so.
That's not the bit I was worried about. It's the firestorm bit I'm worried about.
Oh no, don't worry
What
about
is that?
That hasn't happened for a very long time. It's
How
a
long
very,
is a
very
very
long time.
long? How long is that?
Do I know how long a very long time is?
Yeah, you'd know. Well, make me a history check.
Okay. Oh, not bad actually. That's 18.
So you know that the Great Firestorm that sort of gave Cinderbane its name was hundreds of years ago. This far north of the Blighted Waste, so you're still about 100 miles away from the Blighted Waste. So you get the odd small crackle. Think of it like when we occasionally have a dust cloud in England rather than the sandstorm in the Sahara. There's moments where you might get crackling fires rooting through, but they are so rare that it's like snowing. It's something to talk about.
Yeah, a tree might get set on fire every now and again is the worst that will happen.
Okay. I mean, that still doesn't sound great.
It is what it is. The people here learn to live with it.
Tell you what though, the heat gives me such a lovely glisten that like I think I might enjoy it here.
I hate it. We should move on.
You hate Cinderbane or you hate the glisten?
I hate the weather. Well, both, yes.
What? How dare you, Octavius? I thought we were friends.
Well,
listen to him.
you
You look
decided
lovely.
to dance rather than help the camp, which lowered my expectations of you forever.
Forever. Gosh. Whoa,
First of all,
that's a heavy
first
jump.
of
We'll
all,
kill Sauron or
first of
whoever
all-
it's going to be, and then you'll still hate him.
First of all, Octavius, that it was Sixsmith. Did it or did it? You not ask me to do that? Did it or did it not help you?
I don't want to get involved. I've got some other things to do.
Sixsmith was also lighted. He did not need your help.
I think we should just get to old Daryl's house, Daryl Hall. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, let's hope.
That's the one.
Sixsmith wants to make a beeline straight for the medic. There's important things for him to do, things he wants to do. This is his free time, really, from the army that he has to spend with his brother, charting the path of his dead mum. So if he can deliver this half-orc to a healer and be done with it, he has a lot of free time to do some interesting things.
So as you travel through, again, it's a good half hour, 40 minutes just going through the traders, and it's a big city. It doesn't look particularly glamorous, certainly compared to any of the other places Faeza, Lax6 or Ripper have seen. This place is a hovel. How is this called a city? Just this charred, ghostly remain of a place. And yet it is filled with life and teeming with sellers and hawkers and people celebrating the early evening, sat around these outside bars and passing wraps of kind of decorated terracotta cups and flatbreads with kind of fried vegetables. And you eventually pull through these streets and you come to the Forum, which is the open square at the centre of town, except instead of some weird statue in the middle like we'd expect to see in most Western cities, what you find is an amphitheatre with a again completely blackened from fire damage, and around it, can everyone just make me some perception checks, please? This is where I need my hand-drawn map. There we go.
And got an 8.
Got a natural 20 plus 3, 23.
I rolled a 2 and a 1, which makes 7.
8.
14.
Okay, Lack, I didn't hear you, sorry.
19. It was 19.
Okay.
Total.
So anyone over a 12, everyone under 12, you look around and you see this city. It's a new city. Like whenever you go anywhere new, you look around going, wow, this is all very different. Anyone over a 12 notices that you are standing in the Forum. The traders' quarters that you've just come out of is to the north. To your direct west, you suddenly see gated houses and sort of what look like private guards, and that looks to be going off to a district that is much better kept. You even see some small smattering of white buildings heading off that way. To your east, you notice what look like ordinary houses, though still blackened from soot, and you see on the edge of the Forum quite large letters, this colonnade front, and carved into it, it says Daryl's Hope, and there is a symbol underneath of like 2 spiraling bits of water. To the direct south, you notice what looks to be several large temples, and you all notice something else. The people over 19 recognise it first, and then others see it. You see a man running across the open square of the Forum. He's got fawn legs with kind of goat hooves, running, looking terrified towards you. Chasing behind him are a group of 3 legionnaires. So anyone who got over 19, what would you like to do?
Grab the attention of everyone else. Point, look.
Okay.
Octavius, does this seem like something we should get involved in?
I mean, if you want to stand around giving... Oh, what do they call it? Giving your version of events to the Legion all day, then by all means, stop him. But we don't have time.
Does the fawn look scared, or does he look determined, or has he running?
With your perception roll, yeah, terrified.
Okay. I feel like we should help him.
Yeah, he looks really scared. What's going on?
Running from the law.
We're criminal, mate.
Yeah, I will.
You are
I will
all
support,
free to do what you want.
I will support you all, but I will not intervene myself. I would like to see how this plays out, or continue with our quest.
I'd like to maybe cast a little bit of grease in front of the Legionnaires and see if that helps him get away.
Oh dear. Oh,
damn.
Okay, that's
Damn.
serious.
It's
That's
gone
not
down.
just like, let's get in there and ask them what's going on.
No, I think I can do it subtly.
Oh
Can
my
I do this
God.
subtly? Is it a subtle
Make
skill?
a sleight of hand check.
Thank you. Oh damn, got 19.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
You do this subtly. As you hear Six and Octavius being quite stuffy about the whole affair, really, you just sort of mutter under your breath, and pull out your artificer's tools, and how do you cause the grease to fly out?
I think I have a little, because I make little mechanical toys. I think I have a little oil thing, and I think I'll use my tinker's tool just to adjust something on my little thing, and I think it just will send out this spurt as far as I need it to go.
Okay, so they are making a dex saving throw. What's your spell DC?
Oh, it's 13.
Okay. At this grease just sprays out and lines the stone of the floor. Now everything is blackened and covered in soot around here, and this seems to go in your favor as the guards or the legionnaires don't notice the soot appearing. They do all slip in it. In something that could only be improved by adding some Scott Joplin music to it. And they sort of crash to the ground. And this fawn runs past, looks up at you, and just goes, "Thanks for that!" And carries on running.
Very much.
Well,
Okay.
I can't say
I think we
I
should
can't
do-
say I approve, but let us be off to
That was a sleight of hand. I don't know if you
hope.
saw it, mate.
Yeah, everyone make a perception check.
Actually,
I mean,
I think
obviously
You wanna
Octavius
try?
saw it.
Octavius has
Octavius
got
will.
ridiculous passive perception.
I've got a
Perception's
passive
like
perception
100.
of 21, yeah.
I'm going to say you could have that with your passive rather than making everyone roll.
I
You just
got
take your
a
passive.
16.
Okay, what was it you rolled, Faeza? Was it 19
Yes.
on your sleight of hand? Yeah, you had to get over 19 to see it. Octavius definitely saw.
Octavius always
So
sees.
I don't really say much. I
Octavius.
just sort of look in her way.
Would Sixsmith
Luckily-
be able to say, "Wow, that seems like a coincidence"?
You can make an insight check.
Yeah, I think he probably would make an insight check. Yeah, not that it might come to anything.
Muted.
Natural 20
No.
plus 3. Yeah.
So with a 23, you didn't see it, but you can piece together what happened fairly
Yeah.
simply.
I think I might just say quietly to Faeza, "That was reckless, Faeza. Be careful because you have the lives of all of us here in your hands as well."
Well, there's something in me that does tend towards the little guy. You were there.
As long as
I-
you're
I
You
careful.
want to be
I
careful
admire that
around
idea.
here. It's quite slippy, and I know you wear we're bare feet, so we've got to be careful. I know you've got nice boots on, haven't you, without
Yeah.
laces?
Oh,
Anyone-
good
No,
idea,
no, that's
thank you.
my other set of
Okay.
shoes.
Oh,
Anyway, perhaps we should make our journey towards Daryl's Hope and take a slight circuitous route around the don't cross the centre, and let's go forward.
So you cross around the square to the southeastern edge, where you find this large, kind of 3-story building that again would once have been splendid white marble, but is now blackened. Aside from this meticulously clean sign that says Daryl's Hope. As you're just leaving the carts outside.
So we're parking them up in the
I'm going
base.
to use the lock that we got.
I'm going to pick up Celia and Fireman's carry.
Do you want to? Oh, he's got it.
I mean, sure, why not?
Probably.
Um,
No, okay.
She's over your shoulder. As you walk in, are we all going in?
Yeah.
That's our
Does
mission.
anyone-
Yeah.
Sixsmith would probably lead only because Octavius is carrying a body.
Granny, you're in charge, yeah? Make sure they're okay.
Okay. So as you go in, you notice you kind of go into essentially a small waiting area where the floors are pristine white marble. The walls are matte white paint, but you can smell. It doesn't smell like fresh paint. It smells like cleaning has happened here, magical cleaning. Behind the table at the front, there's a sort of high-rise covered desk. Is a tabaxi who is wearing a long white overcoat, and she's got these glasses on, and she's sort of looks like a bit like a Bengal cat. So she's got these beautiful kind of almost panthers, like leopard-like patterns, but on this darker. How do you go? Tabby sounds so rude to Bengal cats, but that kind of gorgeous darker Bengal cat colour. And she looks up at you all over spectacles and says, "Oh,
This one is injured.
yes.
Do you have a
Right.
bed?
Have you got an appointment?"
No.
It's quite
Is in dire
urgent.
need.
"Right, one moment." And then she opens a drawer, pulls out some parchment and places it down and goes, "Right, no appointment. Have you been referred by anybody?"
Yeah, there was an old lady in wherever I was in the festival of
Redwater.
Fallen Leaves place. Redwater.
This,
Redwater.
This is
Right.
what was the term for mayor? This is
The
the mayor of Redwater.
Presidius?
Presidius
Presidius.
of Redwater. She's been injured in an attack.
Oh,
And we've come in with some urgency on behalf of Redwater.
right. Well, if you'll take a seat, I'll let the healers know, and they'll be with you right
I
as you
just
can.
stand in the middle of the room with her on my shoulder.
Okay. There are some uncomfortable-looking stools that are all joined at the back to a sort of a row of metal and forged into the floor themselves, so they can't be moved. And there are a couple of pamphlets just left on a small table by the side, and on the other side there is a small box that looks like it's filled with wooden children's toys. And as you take a seat to wait, you feel like you are waiting for an age. It could be 30 minutes, it could be 3 hours. Time means nothing here. And then you see the tabaxi looking at you. "Yes, right. Be just with you. Would you mind just popping into that room over there?"
Oh,
And
thank
points
you.
to a small door.
She's only teetering on the edge of life and death. It's fine.
Yes.
And I walk over.
Many are here. And you go into a small room where you actually see a male halfling who has also got a long white coat. He has got a completely shaved head, and he is wearing this head wrap that completely covers his hair and his mouth and nose. And he looks up as you come in and says, "Ah, yes, right. Sorry for the wait. It's been a very busy sort of day. Now, this is the Presidius of Redwater, yes?
Yes.
Would you mind just popping her on the bed? I'll have a look."
Finally.
So you pop her on this
Okay.
lovely white bed that's again got like clean white sheets. The bed itself seems to be made of burnished bronze. The one thing you take as this place is immaculate. And he opens and goes, Vixie, would you mind fetching my book, please? I've left it in the other room." Here,
I will wait out there. If you need to speak to someone, ask anybody else.
Right. And the tabaxi comes in and passes him what looks like a rather thick tome. And he's flicking through it and goes, right, yes, diagnostic. There we are. Has a hair on the hand. Occam's rare to the left. Jade. 1 second. And he opens a drawer and you just see this bag of crystals and bits of wood and odds and ends. Pulls up a jade and goes, right, it's been a while. And he sort of passes these hand movements over the jade and it glows, and then he passes it over the body. And he does this a few times, muttering incantations, and he goes, right, well, would someone like to tell me what happened?
Well, we were attacked by some rather odd creatures that I've never seen before, and she collapsed, and we've not been able to revive her since.
Any odd symptoms or anything else you've noticed?
I mean,
She's very cold.
She walked in fire at one point.
Right, she wasn't suffering from stress or...
No, she was looking forward to the festival quite very much so. She was telling stories beforehand to the children, and also we haven't been able to get her to eat or drink anything at all the way down here.
She has not drunk water in 5 days.
There was a medicine man who we met on the way, or a medical officer, who was a servant to an ambassador from Indiri, who could find nothing wrong with her. Well, he could find no cause for this at all. So no, we
by
don't
whirling
know.
leaves around oily creatures.
Yes.
That's what attacked her.
Right.
And then they dissipated into the wind when we defeated them.
Right, okay. And he's been writing on this on parchment and goes,
Well, I've not got a clue.
so if you'll excuse me, I'm going to fetch the boss. And I'm going to say that is probably a good time for us to go to break right there.
Okay.
So we'll see you in 5 minutes, ladies and gents. Enjoy.
back in. Hi.
Hey.
Welcome back. So, before the break, you had finally managed to reach Cinderbane, and you'd managed to get Celia to Dariel's Hope, which was a medical hospital. And you'd seen the receptionist and then the male halfling who had examined her, and he said he'd had no luck. He just stepped out of the room, and coming back in, you see again this halfling walking in with a human woman who has got long red hair that is tied back very firmly. She's in a dark blue coat all the way down. She's something very notable is that her left arm is in this brace, and it looks like it's got slightly limited movement, and she kind of favors her shoulder a little bit as she walks in, and she they're having this discussion where he's saying, no, I don't know, I can't work it out. And she looks at She walks over and says, hello, right, I'm assuming that you are you've brought Presidius in yourself, yes?
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, don't worry, we'll just be one moment. And then she reaches out, and where you'd seen that the halfling had his book open and had been reading it, he kind of proffers it to the woman, and she says, Mirith, I wrote the damn thing, I don't need to read it. And she just holds out her hand and draws these arcane symbols in the air. Can anyone who's proficient make me an Arcana check, please?
I am.
Go for it, Faeza.
Just you.
I've got it
Oh,
as well.
Oh, I got a natural 20 plus 5.
Wow, look at that.
Very nice.
How do you do, Seed?
Only 12.
Okay, I would say that's
Faeza's
a,
thing, though, isn't it?
yeah. So you see, what you notice is these symbols. In your travels, you've learnt a fair bit about normal human culture, and you have discovered that there seem to be various branches of magic. Some magic tends towards gifts from what people believe is the gods. Some tends to derive from nature itself. You tend to find magic within performance and music and the energy of the world around you, and some very few seem to possess the ability to just force reality to do what they want. And you sense that this magic doesn't necessarily feel good. Not in it feels wrong, it just feels very different to anything you've ever seen before. Faeza, with your role, you have travelled and you have seen many things. Certainly in your homeland, you are well aware of the capabilities of magic. And as you're watching these symbols be etched and appear in the air over the body of Celia, you kind of have a look at the woman standing over her, and you notice she's not wearing any holy symbols. And you sort of check your gadgets and kind of hold them out a little bit near here just to see if the magic's going to trigger anything. This is not divine. This seems to be pure arcana. She seems to be some kind of wizard. And she's casting, and she stops and looks at you and says, right, Mirith, we need to get to her bed now, okay? Yes, Mara, of course. And she turns to you and goes, hello, yes, sorry, short on time, going to make sure she doesn't die. My name is Inmara, this is my hospital. Is anyone here responsible for her? Would someone like
In a
to come with
way,
her?
we all are responsible for her.
Guess all of us.
I won't take up much space. Maybe I can come. I don't want to get in your way.
Yes, we've probably only got space for one. Next, it's very crowded, so we don't mind, but whoever would like to come.
I'll go if nobody minds. I've been trying to look after her on the road, so.
Marvelous.
No
Follow me then, please.
And you step through into what almost seems to be like an adjoining room, like a tunnel, and it's got these bits of fabric hanging down. And she passes you this, it's like a onesie, but made of white cloth. And she says, would you mind awfully just popping this on?
Does this fit me?
It looks a little big.
Okay. Okay.
So it slides
so
on over
I'll-
your clothes. and it is a little baggy on you, but then after a second it fits to your size. And likewise, she passes you a wrap that looks very similar to the one that you'd seen Mirith wearing a second ago. A head wrap.
Okay. I guess I put that on.
Okay. As you put it on your head, there's got all these loose bits of cloth that you're looking at, unsure. It sort of these kind of start moving like fronds of seaweed, and then they wrap themselves around you, leaving just your eyes showing as they cover your mouth as well. And she starts taking off another one for herself, putting it on, putting this head wrap on that does the same thing, and says, "Yes, well, you see, we've got to be very careful around here to make sure it stays clean so people survive. If you don't mind, just one more thing." And then she waves her hand, and the little dirt you could feel falls off you as you recognise that she casts prestidigitation over you a few times to just completely clean your body. She does the same thing to herself, and she says, I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name."
I'm Faeza.
Hello, Faeza. I'm Inmara. It's lovely to meet you.
Thank you.
If you come this way, and you walk into what looks essentially like a hospital ward. It's spotless, clean. It has 6 beds lying in it. Could you just make me a quick perception check, please?
Of course. Oh, it's going to be all right. I think it's a dirty... Oh, 1 second. Yeah, dirty 20.
Okay, so you notice 3 figures in the beds already. You can see Celia being taken through into what looks like a private sort of section, and you see 3 figures. One of them is a nobleman looking fellow, kind of balding hair, very rich clothes and jewelry, even though he's lying in this bed. The second one, he sort of has... It's difficult to describe. You've never really seen anyone like him, but he sort of looks like 1%. The clothing is very similar to Seed. That's it. He's got shaved sides of his head, what looks like blue woad tattoos over his body, this single blonde lock coming down over him, and he seems to be unconscious lying on the bed. And then in the third bed, you see someone who looks sort of like the same build as Ripper. This guy just looks weird. There's something about him that's very odd. He's definitely not from around here, but you've never seen anyone like him and you can't quite place him. You walk past them and you go into this private room where Mirith and Inmara immediately just start casting spells. And whilst this is going on, everyone outside, is there anything you would like to do?
Have they brought the tome in with them, or is that still in the other room?
Mirith would have carried that through with him, yes.
Oh, okay. I'd like just to look around the private room just to see if there's anything around that can give me a hint at what they're doing.
Okay, you make an investigation check. I'm gonna come in, just check in on all the others.
Cool.
So you're back in essentially the waiting room. What would you like to do?
I spotted the temples across the way. I've actually come here to do my oath, so I'm gonna go check those out. We can do that now, Johnny, or we can do that in a minute.
Okay, yeah, we'll come to that. Is there anything else anyone wants to do?
Can I just check, like a general... Sixsmith just wants to see if there's anything untoward about this place at all. If there's anything unusual in the air or...
Insight check.
That's a dirty 20.
This place is the most alien place you have yet seen. But what you do notice is, whilst you don't understand a single word that anyone has said since they've been in here, they seem very efficient, and you recognise that whilst it is a different type of learned than perhaps your culture is used to, it's clearly learned, and you sense that there doesn't seem to be any ill intent in this place.
I'd like to also quickly ask the receptionist if... I know this is indelicate, but pertinent. What is the charge for healthcare in these parts?
She looks at you and says, "Charge? No charge at Dariel's Hope. None."
Oh, that's very good of you. We were told on the road that you were the best, and you have not let us down yet.
If it can be healed, Inmara can heal it. She's quite wonderful.
And then I carry on reading the literature, poking around the literature over there.
See, Lack, anything you'd like to do?
Ripper, would you Six, is she going to be okay? Do you think? The lady?
The half-orc lady? Yeah, she's in there with Faeza. Faeza knows what she's doing. If there's anything untoward, Faeza will come out and let us know. It's a bit strange in there, but maybe it's above my pay grade, as they say, above my rank.
Okay, well, I'm Ripper, do you mind if I come with you? These places, they make me feel a bit funny, yeah?
Oh, of course, come along, mate. Temples, I'm sure you're used to the spiritual side of things.
I like to learn, eh?
Yeah, come on then, mate.
Would you mind if I tagged along too?
Oh,
I
no,
just
of course.
have a funny feeling about this place.
Of course.
I know what you mean, Seed. I know exactly what you and I were very alike like that.
Good. It's a normal human feeling, right?
That's exactly right. Normal human feeling.
Okay, good.
Come on there, Ripper. Seed.
Okay, Octavius, are you staying in the waiting room with Six, or are you leaving?
Octavius is like sat on a chair and is just waiting patiently, barely an expression.
Okay. So as the three of you walk out, so we'll come back to you in a second, Faeza, to try and keep it relative timelines. The first thing you notice is that both of your carts have disappeared.
And the
lock? Where's the lock gone?
Gone. Everything disappeared.
Where are the carts? But we just
tea,
left
I'm
them here. Did the mules walk off with them? I thought the mules liked us.
I don't know whether it's the mule's fault, Seed. I'm guessing this is some custom. Ripper, I don't know. Maybe they've taken them to a stable. We should go check out later. It feels like a nice place, you know. Everyone was helping out in the other places, and maybe they've just taken... We wouldn't do that in Indiri. We'd leave it around.
no, yeah, of course. Leave a car out for days, you know?
Exactly. So his mother used to say, donkeys around, and he looks around for Sixsmith. There's nothing.
Two for a pound. Yeah.
That's close enough, Ripper. I like it.
Okay, so you're stood out in the forum and you can clearly see the temples on the other side. I'm assuming you're walking towards them.
Yeah.
So as you walk towards the temples over the forum with the amphitheatre behind you, you notice 6 temples. 4 of them seem to be aligned with north, south, east, west, and they are very prominent and recognisable as being for Ondra in the north, the goddess of the earth, Carrion in the east, the god of the wind, Circa, the god of fire in the south, and Feliana, the goddess of water, to the west. The other 2 are sort of at northwest and southeast, and they don't have symbols on them, but they are just one of them has black banners hanging outside, and the other one has golden banners hanging outside. You'd obviously know that the one with black banners is the temple of the god Aramis, the god of death, and the goddess Luria are the golden banners.
Right, we're heading for the golden one, Temple of Luria.
Okay, so you walk through, and these temples look, if you've ever gone to Rome, they are sort of small circular temples with the classic Roman triangle with pillars at the front. They look, again, not that large. You're used to far grander temples, even in Bagnet, and that you saw in Port Moon. These are fairly small. And as you go up the steps into the Temple of Illyria, the first thing you notice is it's nice inside. It's fairly plain. It's not quite got the opulence and splendour you would have associated back home with temples. But then from what you've seen of Cinella, where they seem to be a little bit more reserved in their devotion, this doesn't seem out of place. It's still got lovely decorations, beautiful frescoes on the wall. As you look up at the ceiling, the inside dome has this glorious painting that seems to show creation itself, a veritable smorgasbord of life and flora and plants, and in the middle this painting of the goddess Illyria.
Quite beautiful, Ripper.
Well, this is who I aspire to serve. This is the woman. This is the great mother that I'm here to swear my oath to. Although there must be a priest around here somewhere or something.
As you say that, you see sort of an altar at the far end, and from behind the altar, this head just appears, and sort of. Oh, I've completely forgotten her name. Plant professor in Hogwarts.
Sprout.
Thank you. Professor Sprout lookalike, but in temple robes. So she's wearing these wonderful golden and white robes, and she's got dark skin, but with this mad kind of white hair off at all angles. And she looks at you and says, "Yes?"
Hello, Your Grace. I am here in the presence of our great mother to swear an oath to Illuria.
It's a little inconvenient right now. Can you come back?
I mean, I'm here though, right? I mean, well, I get it actually, because you need time, you need to prepare, you need to tell everyone that I'm here to do it. You know, you need to like write off to the local press, you know, make sure that they all get to know everything.
Right, hang on. And then she disappears back, and you hear this just bizarre rummaging sound. And then she appears again, this time over the altar. Still here? Give me a minute. And disappears again. And you hear more rummaging. And then you see her stand up and walk out of the side towards you. And one of those funny kind of really unself-conscious, slightly elderly lady walks that is just, you know, she's had a wonderful life. She's perfectly happy and has no time for your nonsense, young man. And
it's called a waddle, I think, isn't it?
I was trying to be polite.
It's a waddle.
And so she waddles over to you and sort of looks you up and down, and he goes, yes, I suppose actually you might do. You have to forgive me, it's been such a long time since anyone did one. Swearing an oath, you say?
I am indeed, yes.
Why Illuria, young man?
Well, it's a funny story, and I'm really glad you asked. See, when I was a child...
I might regret this.
When I was a child in Banyet, I was walking home one day, and I found a dog that had been attacked on the side. It was helpless, it was barely breathing. So I picked it up, I ran all the way home, and I told my parents, and they said, it's too weak, just leave it. But I knew there was some life in this dog. So that night, I sacrificed my meal to feed it. I used what little water I had to clean its wounds, and I shared my warmth in the night. And the next day I did it again. And the next day I did that again. And then soon, my brothers and sisters started doing the same thing, sharing some of their meals. Anyway, a few days passed, and this dog seemed to be all right. You know, still weak, but walking around. And then it collapsed. I got really frightened. I grabbed my mum and I said, what's going on? What's going on? She told me to run and get the healer. And when I came back, turns out the dog was pregnant. So instead of saving one life, I actually saved 11. And this beautiful litter of pups. So we walk around town. We asked about the dog, everything like that. We found the original owner. And she came along. She came with her other dog. And as soon as the two dogs saw each other, they were barking and banding around. And it was really lovely. And the woman came over to me and she said, thank you for so much for saving my dog. Illuria would be so proud of what you've done here. And it was from that day forward, I knew that all I wanted to do with my life was make Illuria proud.
You look back at the old woman and just tears, just straight down the face. You're like, oh, that's so cute. And she sort of dabs at herself with just a neatly placed hanky. And
crying as well.
I don't know how she got one in a sleeveless dress, but she found one. And she goes, oh, that's absolutely beautiful. Well, I would be honoured to help you, young man. It's just, we don't get many men swearing vows to the goddess of life. Not a problem, not a problem. The other problem is the high priestess is sort of gone off.
I mean, that's understandable, but there is a moment where every student must become the master, and
Yes, I suppose it is my time.
I
I've been
feel
here
that
45 years.
exactly. And although it would be wonderful to have the High Priestess here, you, my Grace, my love, you were so moved by my story that I know that Illyria speaks through you as she will to me.
Right, well, roll a persuasion check. And say you have advantage.
Thank you. Well, first one was a persuasion. Did you say 24 was the first one? Yeah, we'll stick with the 24.
Okay, 24. She seems a little blush in her cheeks. She's, a little bit of buttering her up seems to work. She goes, oh, well, yes, I think we can do this. Now, look, tradition says that we have to do it at first light because it's, dawning of a new day, new life, and all of this. And if I'm honest, it's probably going to take me that long to find where she's put the parchment with the ritual. I don't think anyone's actually sworn to Illyria, certainly not a man, for, not since I came here, and I've been here 45 years, you see. So, one little thing, you know you can't actually join the temple because of man, right?
I understand, but that's not. I'm not here to join the order. I'm here to simply be Illyria's man amongst the people. And you know
lovely.
what? If I am the first man, then allow me to be the first of many.
Oh, lovely, yes. No, I think many years ago we used to do this sort of thing, but it's not been done in a while. So, lovely to have it. First light. Right, well, I suppose I'd better go off and try and find the things we need. So, until then...
Thank you, Your Grace. And I'll take my leave.
Okay. Seed and Lack, you are also standing in the temple. Is there anything you would like to do?
Okay, so, Seed's kind of been like staring this whole time, like trying to kind of work out the context of everything that's going on, and then kind of turns to you and says,
So, this oath, what exactly do you mean when you say you're going to swear an oath?
What I mean, Seed, is that I want to pledge my life in service of the goddess Illyria, in her teachings, in the things that she does. And it's not as subservient as that, it's not like she becomes my master or anything like that. It's not like that. I'm doing this voluntarily. I'm doing this because I believe in her teachings, and I want to spread that word of life and love to as many people as I can, to which I've seen followers of this temple do before, to which enlightened me in my path from that little boy. And I want to be that shining light for other people. And that's what swearing an oath is about.
That sounds amazing. And you're going to do this tomorrow?
Yeah, at dawn.
It sounds like it's very important to you.
It's the reason why I traveled from another country. It's the reason why, I had to come this far to do it. And, there is a bit of divine intervention, right? Because if it wasn't for me having to come here, I never would have met wonderful people like you.
Well, I was wondering, as this is clearly something very important, and I believe it is human tradition when you are doing something important to give somebody something to mark the occasion, I wondered whether I could pass something on to you that somebody gave me when I was doing something important.
If it's not too much of an imposition, then of course not.
So, when I was leaving Nurmiengard, the person that I was travelling with was a bard, and as I was leaving, this is what he gave me, and I would like to pay it forward. And Seed, so in a similar way to what you saw before, where when they were looking at the statue, they kind of changed their physicality slightly, and it was kind of like you were watching them go into some kind of memory. In a similar way, you see them change again, but this time, instead of looking like Seed in a different place, it's like watching them stand like they're in a slightly different body. And if you could put a kind of description on it, it would be like a middle-aged man with a bit of a punch. They're standing a little bit squatter, they're a little bit broader. It's still Seed,
but it's like watching their impression almost of somebody else. And then this is what they sing to you.
Take the first step towards the far horizon, and remember it's now one step less far. And if you litter pieces of yourself along the way, I hope that they remain in someone's heart. For you don't know your destination, but need no hesitation. You are never lost while you're on someone's mind. And though your path may be yours only, the road need not be lonely, for I'll be watching on from close behind. So take the first step, and the world is not so wide.
And as they finish, they kind of just turn back into familiar Seed.
Thank you, Seed. That was such beautiful words that I will cherish them, and I will think about them when I take this oath.
And
We're gonna
I
have to
could
go
do that
outside.
for you.
This has been possibly 5 or 10 minutes of the most intense emotions I felt in a very long time. I've just thank you, and he just runs out the temple.
Okay, we're going to cut back to the hospital room where... what did you get on your investigation roll a million years ago,
I got a
Faeza?
13 plus 5, so 18.
18. So you see that you were sort of kept away from the bed themselves, so you can see everything they're doing. It's a very sparse room. There is a comfortable sofa that you can sit on. There are no books, no soft furnishings in here. This is a place where healing happens. You don't see anything odd or anything that would put you at ease. And as you're watching these people work, you see deep skill, and you hear them talking to each other as they're passing these get more arcane symbols. At this point, it sort of looks a little bit like, and I don't know what they're called, but when we were small children, everyone used to get given them at Christmas, and you'd do like stencils of spirals and things. And spirograph, thank you. And they just form these just incredible intricate patterns, and then you'd take it too far and it would just become a mess. It's sort of verging on that, of these arcane glyphs and sigils in all kinds of different colours. And with your arcane knowledge, you get the sense you're in the presence of masters. This is far beyond what you can do, but you've seen masters before enough to, game recognises game. And they're working quite hard, and you hear Mira saying, "When Mara, this can't be possible." And you just hear her say, "It's just like before. No, okay, that's it, and pull." And they sort of pull tight, and this web of magic just kind of flares up and settles over the body. And suddenly, when you look at Celia, all across her green skin and across her face, these black lines just rise up as though her veins themselves have turned to black, are filled with oil. And just out of the corner of her eyes, black smoke just wisps, or at least something that looks like smoke, and like a single tear of oil runs down her face. And you just hear in Mara go, "Lurian's back, bloody teeth, not another one."
What does this mean?
Right, yes, thank you for staying quiet through that. This isn't the first time we've encountered this. In all honesty, I'm not entirely sure. I can't cure it. I can stop it getting worse. I hate to ask, but we might be in need of your service. If you were skilled enough to bring her here, she has clearly been ill for several days, you might be skilled enough to help us with what we need. I need to know exactly what happened to her, and I know that you've come a long way, several days away. I'm not going to ask you to go back, but we have one other patient who, well, frankly, is in the exact same condition, but, well, we have the key to his house, and his last words before he passed out were, something about in the house they took it. It's all a little bit vague. We went to the Legion and, well, those bloody pen pushers, they wouldn't know their arse from their elbows. So we sort of need people who wouldn't mind going to have a look. It's not illegal. You're doing this in my name. However, it's not officially sanctioned either. So it's not necessarily a problem. I will give you some paperwork to say it's fine. It's just I can't spare myself. I'm needed here. Do you think you and yours would be amicable to this?
Well, I will talk to the party and see what they say. I mean, if they don't wish to, then I will. This is important.
Yes.
Can I ask, what is the other party? Where is he? Is he one of the people in the bed outside?
No, we are keeping these patients isolated from the others. And she leads you back out and into the sort of the opposite private room, and you see a minotaur essentially with this almost sort of purplish skin, or a kind of purplish fur, except it's just completely covered in black lines. Again, this faint wisping smoke and these oil-like tears down his cheek. And unlike Celia, who was completely still, this Minotaur is shifting uncomfortably as though trapped in some kind of nightmare. And he just seems to be babbling. Could you just make a perception check, please?
Of course. A 13.
Okay. With a 13, it's hard to make much sense of this. It sort of sounds like he's saying names. You can't really understand his dialect. It's very thick. The one thing you can hear, you sort of get a suffix. And the only thing you hear is Ian.
Ian?
Not Ian, but Eon.
Ian,
So it's
sorry.
at the end. Ian. Oi, Ian.
I
No,
ruined the tone there completely.
fine. It's the end of a word. So since it's the end of a name and you just heard this Ian, but you can't quite hear the rest of it under the garbled babbling.
I might turn to Inmara and say, this is strange. You say that there was a message from him, that he said in the house they took it. This is the character, right? Whose house you want me to visit?
Yes, this is Darius Ventus. He's a nobleman in these parts. We've got his items here, his belongings, and she passes over sort of a key and sort of goes, hang on, if you ask Vixie, she'll sketch out a map to where he actually lives. Yes, no, but we do have this. And she passes over a quite official looking form that essentially says the bearer has right of entry in regards to my health to his home. So it's some sort of like a health insurance that lets your doctors just do whatever they need to look after you, essentially. She says, yes, the Legion are still a bit funny about this. It's not officially licensed yet by the Senate, but we're very new here. We're the only hospital, you see, and they're not always open to my ideas. But I've got enough clout that they won't throw you in jail as long as you've got the paperwork.
Okay, thank you. I'd just like to pass on that something that happened with Celia, which we might not have told you, is that when the night after she was attacked, we shared a dream, all of us, all 6 of us, and in that we heard a voice from a distance saying they've returned. It was a cry of a woman. I don't know if it was Celia, but if it sounds related to, you know, in the house they took it. I don't know if these two are related at all. I don't know if that will help your information about what is happening.
Okay. I'm afraid I rely on evidence and things I can understand. Dreams are... Oh, that's the realms of the priests. Thank you for the information. Perhaps it might be a shared psychic link, or... No, nothing about this before. It could be a secondary symptom. I'll write it down and add a note. If it comes up again, maybe it will be useful. Thank you kindly, Faeza. If you'll excuse me, I'm going to look after the patients now. Mirith can take you back.
One more thing before you go. You mentioned about I can see the smoke coming out from the eyes, and on our way here we passed through a town. and heard a story about a man in the center of the forum with smoke pouring from his eyes, who caused some destruction and some kind of damage and ruckus was the word.
Yes.
Is this the same fellow, or is there another fellow? Are there more people who've suffered in this way?
Well, I'm afraid whoever that was didn't make their way to my hospital, so maybe this is a plague or some sickness. There's not enough information. I mean, I don't get a chance to get out much. You might check with the Legion to see if there have been many other reports. I'd heard of him, but whoever that was did not find their way here.
Okay, thank you. Well, I will go and talk to the members of my party, and explain to them the situation with Celia. And we've travelled so far; they may be interested to help her. And I will come back and tell you what we will do.
Thank you kindly.
Thank you.
And Mirth takes you back through the waiting room. Whilst you're there, you see that the very large figure is kind of sitting up and looking just down at his feet as though he's kind of just woken up, and he kind of looks around him and looks really confused, and you could just see him talking to the nurse. Do you want to just make a perception check, see if you can overhear what they're saying?
Yeah. 14.
14, yeah, you managed to catch him. Go, great, I don't really know where I am, but has anyone seen my axe? And the nurse is going, no, I'm so sorry, but very difficult to understand you. No, I haven't seen your axe. Oh,
Stop it, Johnny.
and then you just walk out of the room, and you go back
What
into
is
the waiting
this?
room and meet your
What
companions.
did I miss?
Is
What-
there a
what did I
thing
miss?
here that I missed?
Well, it's just a guy
No,
recovering.
between you two. All right, are we getting out of game?
That was an
In
Easter
jokes?
egg.
Was
Big,
it?
big Easter egg. Well
Oh,
done.
okay.
Well done on the accent, Johnny.
Intriguing.
Okay, fair play.
So Sixsmith is chatting to the receptionist and saying like, you don't have any. What do you do in order to clean your hands in this place? Do you have something, a bottle that you squirt onto your hands? Can I buy some sort of facial mask, in case there's some kind of thing going around? And he's just querying the etiquette.
The
Face
Becki-
space. What's information?
It changes every 5 minutes. No one knows
Yeah,
anymore.
exactly.
Vixie turns to you and says, well, actually, yes, most of us just stay clean with this. She clicks her hand and just dust just flies off with her prestidigitation. Goes, but for those of you of a non-magical ilk, she reaches under the counter and pulls out, she sort of has 4 or 5 different glass bottles that do have hand stoppers. She says, you might use these. Inmara makes them herself. She's a master alchemist, as well.
Is
It's
it-
part of the study.
Is it an autocaster that casts prestidigitation when you press it?
That would be cool. No, it is just plain
They're not.
old alchemical cleaning alcohol.
Very beautiful, beautiful. She's into the alchemicals. Wonderful. And I use every single one in turn because I'm not really sure how to do it. We have different levels of cleanliness
Okay,
and
can you
different
just roll me a
things.
d20, please? Just straight d20.
I'm gonna have the cleanest. I'm gonna have the cleanest hands.
Space.
What did you roll there, 6?
I rolled 10.
Okay. Well, the good news is you do have clean hands.
Good.
The
Good.
bad
I should
news,
hope
then,
so.
bad news is after using that much cleaning alcohol,
Yeah.
A, the
I'm
scents
drunk.
have mingled together. No, not at all. But you do have very dry skin now.
Yeah. Which makes me miserable, by the way, because I don't think anyone knows, but I moisturize quite frequently, just quietly, and in the mornings.
6 or Sean?
And... Both. No
Both,
shame.
right.
No
That's
shame
why
in
he
having.
glistens whenever he
This
takes
is-
his
look
armor
at this,
off.
look at
It's
this.
moisturizer.
Yeah. It's not an accident. Yes. Okay. I have very dry skin, and I'm a little bit annoyed.
Great. So, Faeza, you walk back into the waiting room where you see Octavius and Six, at least. Ripper, Seed, Lack, were you heading back here or are you still in the temple? It's up to you.
I would assume we were heading back to grab the rest of the party.
Thing
And
is, I
obviously,
still don't know where those donkeys are, Ripper. And whoa! What the? It's very slippy around here. Be careful. Maybe that's where the donkeys went. They slipped.
on the way back, could I maybe cast a survival check to see if I can see donkey and dinghy tracks.
Cast a survival check.
Not cast. Sorry, can I do
I
a
cast
survival
survival check. You may cast survival check as you're walking. Obviously, you've lost the donkeys. Let's see if you can see any tracks.
Could Lack give me the help action by reminding me exactly what the carts look like so I can judge the wheels?
The thing is, we should be looking for the donkeys anyway, Ripper. But maybe we could ask one of these Legion people. They'd probably know where it's been taken.
I mean, they were quite big carts. They'd be a bit difficult to miss if someone took them.
It's true, it's true.
I got a 17 survival.
Okay. With your 17, you notice thousands of footprints and cart rungs. This is the centre of a city. You do get the sense some are fresher than others, and they seem to go off away from the hospital, away from where you have been, into a district that, as you look down the street, does not look quite so nice.
So, I think it could be that track, or maybe that track, or maybe that track, or maybe that track, or maybe that track, or maybe... No, not that one. That track.
Ripper, this
Yes?
is a lovely idea, but I think Lack might be right about just asking somebody.
Fair enough. Oh, maybe that track.
You're a man of the people. Maybe you could ask the people.
That's very true. Who would I see around me, DM?
Well, about this point, it's kind of getting to 7 o'clock in the evening now, and full night has descended. The temperature has suddenly dropped quite a lot. It's still autumn, but it's cold, and you see people with thick cloaks wrapped around them hurrying home down the various streets. There are passers-by you could stop.
Was there any like, you said there were people dining outside. Is there anything like across the street from this that people might have seen? Or...
So that was in the quite large traders quarter that you'd walked through. Where you are now, you're essentially, the forum is the large meeting space in the middle. So you can see the very beginning of the traders quarter. There's a small taverna on the edge there.
I just want to sort of maybe go over and sort of speak to the person. Excuse me, my friend, the proprietor of this establishment.
So what you see, it's not like a restaurant inside. It's essentially a shop window that then has benches around the sides, and the thing pulls back, and this half-orc head comes around and goes, "Help you, mate."
Yeah, we had a couple of donkeys and, mules, a couple of mules and some carts parked there. Someone's taken them. I feel like, listen, I feel like, you know, who takes carts, right? Who takes carts? Come on.
I mean, you're not supposed to park in the forum.
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold on a minute. Does that mean they've been towed?
A toad is some kind of animal, isn't it? A little...
He says from a different building about 400 meters away.
Good hearing, good hearing.
It's, he says,
No, I mean, you left the carts unattended. Yeah, like those, what do they call themselves? Brotherhood of Ash have probably got them.
All right, where we find this, the Ashy boys, yeah?
I won't call them that, mate. In the slums.
In the slums, right, delicious. And where are the slums?
Far Eastern Wall. Just
Far
above
East-
the cinders.
Far Eastern Wall, Ashy boys. Yeah, they're done. All right, thank you very much.
But, hang on, mate, you're actually going to go look for them?
Well, I mean, the thing is, you got what's that phrase? Listen, my dad used to say to me, you know, he said that some idiot once said to him, walk softly and carry a big stick. But my dad was like, that's dumb. You got to walk in there like you fucking own the place and carry the biggest stick there.
Good luck with that, mate.
and he kind of throws you a pastry. Would you like to attempt to catch it?
Of course.
Make me a dex check.
That's a 20. Can I catch it in my mouth?
Catch it however you want.
Yeah.
As he throws it to you, he says,
on the head, on the head.
Once again, Ryan and dodgy pastries in a D&D game.
It's all right.
no, it's
not filled with children.
totemic.
Yeah, hopefully not filled with children this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as he throws it to you and you're chewing it, he goes,
Enjoy that.
if you're going looking for them, be the last thing you ever eat, mate. He just closes the window.
Are we really going to go and look for these people?
No. See, we're not doing it yet, right? But the thing about towns like this, right? People talk, right? So listen, that guy, he obviously knew where they were. He knew who they were. So he knows something, or at least knows somebody who knows something. So if you announce yourself, you start to get a bit of a rumble going, you know, people start to understand. Some of those little mugs in that squad, they ain't going to think that, they think they're going to be hot shit, right? And now they're going to be frightened that someone's coming after them, which means they're going to start slipping up. So.
And this man, he can catch a pastry in his mouth. So he's an impressive man. Yeah.
Is that something that happens a lot in your interactions with scary people? You catch pastries in your mouth and they're...
I mean, it's not always pastries. Look, I'm not going to lie to you, Seed. I've caught a couple of fists in my mouth a couple of times from doing dumb shit, right? But that's just course of action, right?
That sounds less pleasant.
I've also caught 2 apples at once. Don't know how I managed to do that, right? But it worked, and I did it. But what I'm saying is you need to start stirring a pot to get stuff unstuck.
Okay.
Yeah, to bring it to the boil.
We need to go and be big and scary, is what you're saying.
No. We don't have to try and be big and scary, right? I've seen the way you handle a crossbow.
I mean, actually, technically it's a longbow, but thank you.
They're all the same. They're all the same, aren't they, those things? Shoot an arrow. That's what my mother used to say. Shoot an arrow. Looks around for Sixsmith. He's not there.
Oh, well. We'll get there.
Shoot an arrow, straight and narrow, right?
That sounds good. I like that. That's actually better than what she said. But we'll stick with that now.
So I promise you, Seed, in the next couple of days, obviously we've got things to do, but people start slipping up soon. We'll find Uncle, Auntie, and Granny. Was it Lack?
Yes, I'm a little concerned for their well-being, of course.
If they're not nice people, they might not be treating the mules very well.
Well, then
I will get angry.
Then we will treat them exactly the same way they treat the mules, then, won't we?
So we'll hitch them to a cart
and give them nightmares.
If that's what it takes.
Grotesque. So I'm assuming this is happening whilst you're heading back to
walk through the door on that line. Yeah.
I should hope so, because all Sixsmith's been doing is chatting to a receptionist and reading pamphlets.
Of his own volition.
How to 1 in 5 men. No, I don't need that one.
So at this moment, Faeza walks back through the door, and you are all together again as a group.
I relay all of the information that I was given by being what I've seen. I don't hide any of the details from anybody. And I say, well, this seems like a very big problem. I feel like we haven't completed our promise to help Celia. Perhaps we can find some more information if we go to this house with this key.
The mission, I believe, the mission was to heal Celia. Yes.
Yeah, she's not healed yet, and there's a big problem here. So I feel very strongly that we should follow this. But if this is too much, if you have other missions to take advantage of, then by all means. I feel we're strong as a party, but if you need to, I know I will be following this, and I will be taking this lead.
Where would we have to go to support?
Into all we need to do at the moment is go explore this house and see what we can find out. It's in the I believe quite a rich district. The guy's he's a nobleman, so he's I think we would get to see.
Becki, have you got that map for us?
It's
who?
Vicky, right?
Vixie. I'll say hello. Hi, Vixie.
Oh, hello there. How may I help?
Inmara mentioned that there may be a map to the home of Darius Ventis.
Oh, well, I can draw you one. And then she sort of gets out one of those Guide to Cinderbane sort of documents. It's very, very rough.
I've already read the whole thing. It's fine.
And,
back to front.
She just draws you sort of like a quick little circle. It shows kind of blocks of buildings, and she circles one in the middle of the Western District. And she says, it's called the Heirs. That's the name of the area. It's where all the rich live, because they've got heirs. But you should find his house fairly easily. It's on the main road. It's not got any guards in now. Just if there are legionnaires still there, you just present the letter, they'll let you in.
Lack, I don't know about you, brother, but Mother had always told us the architecture in this area was lovely. Maybe a good opportunity for us to check out some of the houses and maybe just lay eyes on it once in our lives.
That would be nice, and Mother would stay around to help anyway.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Octavius, can I borrow you for a minute?
Yes, of course.
I got 2 questions. One, for if anyone's pretending to be a legionnaire, as a legionnaire, do you have to show your sigil if somebody asks for it?
You don't have to, but you will always have one if you have ever been a legionnaire.
All right.
So,
perfect. And the second thing, sorry, carry on. So
I was going to say,
mate. Sorry.
So as you noticed earlier, if you've deserted the legions, it will be bleeding all of the time.
All right. That's good. In case anyone's trying to pretend to be a legionnaire, then we can have a little look-see and see what's going on with that. The other thing, you might want to sit down for this one, mate. Granny's gone.
Oh, well, we best find a new mount then.
Well, I think we can get him back, right? And but the thing is, right? Basically, I ate a pie. It was really lovely. What else I was going to say?
Oh, hold on. Listen.
Oh, no, that
we'll
was
just
it, that was
jump
it.
on our carts and go to this house.
6.
Yeah.
Carts are gone too, right? So, we've basically got no transport out here, right? So, until we can figure out who's taking the carts, we might as well hang around. However, if we want to help Faeza with this fetch quest, then we can head on over to this guy's house and investigate it and have a look. Also, tomorrow morning I've got to do my oath, so I've got some time this evening to probably go to this guy's house. So, Faeza, if you want some company, I don't mind.
I'd appreciate that.
My number one priority at the moment is to investigate this house. So
yeah, may I
don't
suggest
really care about the carts or the mules. I've got to be honest.
Well,
I mean, have a heart.
I respect that very deeply, but
animals.
no, of course, but they were our property, you see. And if our property was taken from us, we have to decide where we fall in the order of those things. My suggestion would be, I don't know about you guys, but maybe we find somewhere to rest, somewhere we can trust. And then maybe tomorrow morning attend the ceremony. It could be a nice thing to galvanize us as a team. First thing after that, visit the house. And then maybe if there's time, I will go to the authorities. Your legionnaires have been very supportive in this part of the world. I will report our stolen property.
So Vixie sort of leans and goes, sorry, I hate to interrupt, but yes, I wouldn't recommend looking at it in the night. That might make you look a little bit like thieves. If you go down in the morning, it might be a little, or the afternoon, sorry, if you've got things to do, it might be a slightly better thing. There are several lovely inns just inside the traders' quarters. Any of them are absolutely fine.
Yeah, Vicky,
Thank
good
you.
advice, thank you.
Vixie.
Vixie, that's what I said.
Yes.
Where is the nearest Legionnaire's post where we can speak to somebody in authority? We were told maybe there was a tribune. Are they stationed here or somewhere else?
Well, yes, the Tribune will, well, he's normally found in the Forum at around midday. It's where he holds public office then. You could possibly speak to him then.
Well, thank you very much for your help, Vixie.
Very helpful. Thank you.
Unless anyone else has any other questions, I think maybe we should take up the suggestion of 6 and find an inn.
So as you walk out of the door, that's where I'm going to call tonight, because I have a suspicion that things might happen still this evening, next session. We've got some important things still to do. So to everyone at home, I hope you've been enjoying tonight's adventure. It's been very plot heavy tonight as we've finally reached Cinderbane, which means our party have now reached level 3, so you may level up on D&D Beyond.
Nice.
For a lot of you, finally choose your subclasses, which is hugely exciting. Roll HP and add that to your character sheets. And next session, we are going to pick up at this point in the evening and see if they can find a good place to rest and have an uneventful night's sleep. So just before we go, I believe we've got some reminders of where people can find us.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So we've had some great engagement from people in the Facebook, on the Facebook page, and on Instagram and on Twitter as well, with all of our wonderful stuff. A wonderful bard, Seed, has got a sweet little hookup with one of our friends. Who is that wonderful other streamer?
So shout out to Carnassa. Thank you very much for promoting us in your Discord. It was much appreciated. And if anybody likes Let's Play content, please check out Carnassa on YouTube. You can find some great stuff on there.
We've got a whole host of stuff coming out in the new year. So if you subscribe to all of our channels, follow and everything, you'll be the first to find that sort of stuff out. And Dan, I believe we're putting this out like clockwork. This thing becomes bite-sized,
Yes,
the stream.
Trying to make them little bite-sized serials for us. Every day there's a podcast available on Spotify and Apple and all the other places you can get your podcasts from. If you prefer, or you want to introduce someone new who might like the idea of Dungeons and Dragons but doesn't necessarily want to buy into 2.5 hours of us yet. If not, why not?
Yeah.
But it's like the gateway drug to the real stuff.
How long are they, Dan?
Anywhere between 20 minutes and half an hour, depending on how much we talk in each session, and how much walking or camping we do. So it's today is going to be about half an hour each session, I reckon.
So that's almost like a perfect commute to those people still travelling to work, like myself.
But it's the same time it takes you to make a luscious breakfast in the morning, or when you get dressed, jumping out the shower, or just
Morning
making
run.
dinner in the evening. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Or if you forget to do the dishes for like 4 days and then you've got them all piled up on the side and then you're like, oh, Christ, I better do these dishes. Whack podcasting, half-hour episode.
I feel like
So
we've got
if
a
anyone-
snapshot in your home life.
It's really hard
Yeah.
to tell where Ripper ends and Ryan begins, isn't it?
Hey man, if you
Really
picked up
difficult.
a PlayStation 5, right, or an Xbox One, an Xbox, whatever, what's the new one?
Series
No one knows. One
Series
X.
doesn't matter.
says
Waiting,
We're all
waiting
Xbox
for your
X.
PlayStation
guy.
5 to defrag its drive after you've put it on rest mode for enjoying Spider-Man.
Some
then,
topical shade thrown
Yeah.
there.
We love
adopters
Sony.
for the
Don't bad talk
PlayStation.
Sony.
I've heard of a few review copies breaking, and they've had to be sent new ones.
But do you know what else is
when
wonderful?
It breaks, you can
Sackboy.
listen to
Sackboy Adventure. My
your-
brother helped make
your
that
brother
game,
was
so I'm
part of that team.
gonna
That's
plug
fantastic.
that hard. Sumo
Sumo
Digital
Digital.
done some awesome thing there.
Tally
Wonderful
for the
work.
win. Absolutely,
lads,
Tally Di
good
Girolamo.
lads.
So yeah, if your game breaks or if it doesn't break, chuck on an episode of Blood and Song and get on the socials and let us know what you think.
So, final plug.
Pull your
Sean
olds
and
to
I
sleep.
are engaged with Movember for this month for Men's Health charity. The link to the charity is in the description for Twitch. So if you have the spare cash and you would like to donate to that charity, then that would really help us out. Thank you.
They are showing signs of magnificence. So
They
I
certainly are.
can't wait for another week because then I can wax it.
no way.
Also, I'm thinking of shaving my head before the next session because I'm tired of my locks, right? So I don't know if we get enough votes or likes or tweets or messages. If there is support to keep or to shave, I will do either, depending. I don't
Oh,
care how they
gosh.
come in. We will collate them from wherever you give them to us. And whichever has the most amount of feedback, I will decide to keep these luscious locks or go completely like Cypher from the Matrix.
Oh,
And I
gosh,
will
that's-
just shave my
That would
evil
be an
head.
interesting look.
You
That
heard him,
would be-
Internet. You have
Yeah.
the power to make us laugh uncontrollably every time we look at him.
We
That
can
is
play.
worth-
We can
Use it.
play
That
with
is worth the price of a pint as sponsorship for Movember. Come on, just the
Five-
price of a
five
pint. You'll
player-
go to the pub.
5 player characters, 1 DM, and 1 egg.
Mustachioed egg. Right. And with that wonderful metaphor for tonight's game, it just leaves me to draw it to a close and say, may the Great Mother guide you wherever you are. Have a wonderful week.